We're 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 not live yet. We're almost live. Here's our last podcast.
Sometimes
Episode
it's hard to
11.
tell without that on-air light.
Yeah, there's no what the countdown, right?
That'll help.
That would help. And I wish I had the ability to do that screen like prior to the stream starting. It takes a PC and OBS and all that, but where you have like that, like Crazy Mr. Pips has this opening up like music that gets you pumped, and that's the time period where you can like work on setting up your stream details. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have that. We're just on here doing a little bit of banter. Okay.
The stream will begin in
5 minutes. Hopefully not that long. I'll try.
Look at the movies when they're like, hey, don't be a Tommy Dexter. Put your damn phone away. Pay attention.
Oh, yeah. They also, yeah. Okay, let's discuss the solar system. That is episode 12, by the way. I can't believe it. That's what the mixed week. Featuring Brad. There we go. I enjoyed SnowRunner on Teddy Yeti's channel. I didn't watch it all, but I enjoy hearing you guys. You're so calm, man. He fell over a lot. The last episode. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, that happens.
This is adorable, though. I dipped out. But I was there to the end, but I had to, like, do stuff. You guys are very relaxing with the struggles. Space podcast.
It's like 90%. It's like 90% well-planned strategery, and then 10% like, okay, that's kind of boring. Let's go and risk it. And then you flip over. And then you have friends to help you.
Yeah, you helped a lot.
Metaphor for life.
Right? If you have friends. Oh, yeah, that's sad. But it is. Yeah, sometimes you need a friend to help flip over your trailer bed.
Your truck. Yep. Life is a tractor trailer. Don't flip over.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna start logging in to Elite Dangerous. It's not very Helldivers of me.
Nope.
This bothers me. My ship is inside a thing, but I'm in space.
Didn't you land at that asteroid base or something?
No.
That's where your ship is?
Yeah, but I'm not there yet.
When you say inside a thing.
You know the screen where it tells you your arc? Oh, yep, our voices are live. Hold, please. That page finally loaded. I'm about to do my galaxy map, plot my route. Welcome to the topic. I'm going to pin the topic. Topic, the solar system.
The whole thing.
All of it. Topic, the solar system. For this week. It might take a while for it to, warm up. Plotting route 54%. And I gotta remember, I got your Brattleaxe controller set up. That is so helpful, by the way, even if it takes me a bit. I have 104 jumps to the Omega sector. I'm in the middle of space. Yeah. And then I don't know where I'm going from there. I did look at some stuff. Baby steps through the solar system. I did, however, this is for later when we're warmed up, when we're really in it, because I have no idea how I'm going to keep track of how many you got right. But I do have the 88 constellations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, we're going to hope you forget about it again. So it'll be.
I mean, they didn't change since I first learned them, so I like that planet thing.
Like what planet thing changed? Oh, I call back to old episode. What was it that changed? Or I already forgot your embarrassment. What was it that changed since you knew about it?
The constellations didn't change, but the number of planets in the solar system changed.
Oh, yeah.
Since we learned them when we were kids.
That's true. We're going to get into Pluto.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're not talking about Pluto yet. We can't talk about Pluto yet. It's too soon. It's too soon. Right? Oh, there's a moon list is on. I was gonna go to the moon list, and I was like, you're right. It might be more relaxing. So I'm gonna start my ship up. First, I'm gonna. There were things I used to do when we'd start out, stats and stuff you used to care about when we used to explore. I was wondering if
Yeah.
I should check on that stuff for the
I
beginning
actually
of.
did that at the start of a trip, and then at the end of the trip.
Well, can I
It's
give
like
you
we're
my
setting your
stats like
odometer on a
old
road trip.
times? Can I give you my stats like old times then? Which one? The exploration? Which one did you care about? The exploration stat?
I'm in the middle of a jump, so I'll have to check in a second.
Um, total hyperspace jumps might be the one to go at, or
I mean, there's certain, not so much stand out, but there's certain ones that kind of like, oh, okay, these are the ones you want to kind of pay attention if you're exploring, or these are the ones you want to pay attention to if you're constantly blowing up other ships and stuff.
hmm.
What is it again? Codex?
Yeah, I mean the codex commander stats.
Commander stats reporting for duty.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, like overall balance is like, hey, how much money did you just spend on ships versus your bank account?
For
Crime is kind of fun.
all my crime
Uh,
is low still, but yeah, my balance is at 923 163 350. That sounds like a phone number, almost one digit off.
bank balance 5678309.
Yeah,
So you would want exploration, I guess,
yeah.
because we're in explorer mode.
4,529 systems visited.
So yeah, systems visited is basically how many different places you've been to, because it doesn't count.
Not many.
Like
Yeah,
if you keep going back to
the same ones.
California Freeport, for example, it doesn't keep counting
I
it.
love California Freeport.
It's
Like
different systems visited, basically.
total
Hyperspace
hyperspace
jumps, distance, and
Okay.
total jumps are like another good
Okay. My
reference.
hyperspace jumps are at 4,773. My
Mm-hmm.
total hyperspace distance is 146,307 light years.
Okay,
And that's what I got.
and now I tell you what mine are. If you show me
Yeah.
yours, I'll show you mine. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Doing that. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Systems visited, 23,293.
23,000?
Yeah.
I'm at 40.
I mean, all those,
23,000?
yeah, like all I do is pretty much,
You sure
well,
do get around.
I
Oh,
do. Total
stream
hyperspace jumps, 27,136.
27,000. So I
Total
don't think
hyperspace
that's bad.
distance, 1,359,360.
Wait. What? 1 million. I'm at
1
45.
million!
$1 million. I'm at 45,302 light years. Max distance from start. So yeah, you've got me obliterated because you've played the game a long time. Got it.
Well, there
All
was a
hail
couple
Dutch.
years where this was like
All you did.
one of my main games.
Mhm.
And even if you want to focus on combat, you're still jumping around or jumping around to do things so you can engineer your combat ship. So you're still traveling and jumping places. And then getting your ship blown up a couple times gets really expensive. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to go back to exploring for a bit. Then you spend 4 months flying around looking at stuff,
How do
and it
you
adds up.
get? How do you back into just get into? I'm looking at the thing. I'm trying to find the. I just want to get into a frame. Not. I don't want to jump to the next planet. I just want to get into.
Super Cruise.
Yeah.
I think it's triangle down.
Oh, there we go. Frame drive. Okay. Some of the stuff I was like, I know some of the stuff because we talked about some of the stuff in previous episodes. Just because when you're talking about stuff,
It's all connected.
it's all connected. It really is. But
So where do you want to start?
let's start at the very beginning. Very good
Mind
place to
Oath?
start.
Let's start at the beginning.
Where were you 4.6 billion years ago? No, like, yeah, let's start at the beginning.
Probably all over space.
You believe?
We're all like
Oh,
hydrogen
wait,
disk.
wait. Do you really believe you already existed at the beginning of space? Did we always exist? Wait, this just just saying. Did we always exist?
The particles in our body existed before now.
So then, does that mean we always existed?
Maybe. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Well, not us, because we grew up and stuff, right? So that was
Right.
It's not like we were. Someone had a pile of molecules in a
Did
corner.
parts of us kind of?
I mean, the Earth was
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
like
so
rocks and stuff that just get smashed into pieces. They don't like live and die and are born and grow. They're just going to accumulate together.
like human beings. So can we start with just the overview of what you recall of the solar system planets in order
Well,
of
there's a couple
nearest
things
to
that you
furthest?
mentioned. You know, like something like how do we decide how big the solar system is and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I messaged you before I took my nap, yes.
Yeah.
You thought about some of those things? Okay, I'd love to hear your
Well,
thoughts.
it was kind of like how do I explain that? Because it's not like we decide, and it's also not arbitrary. It's kind of like a bubble. Not all bubble like soap bubbles or bubbles in a frothy sea or something like that. They don't really
Frothy sea
decide
of
how large
space.
they are. They're created, and the characteristics of the creation kind of decide how, or determine rather, their size and stuff like that.
Okay.
So usually the size of the sun will determine the size of the solar system, because ultimately it's the large, like, gravitational body
I
and
saw
radiation source.
I saw something that perhaps like what we perceive to be at the edge of the universe could be
Okay, now you're
further.
talking. Well, that's universe, though. You're talking universe.
I mean, the solar system. I mean, that it could be
Okay.
bigger than we expect, but we haven't really decided because of some sort of. Am I wrong? Like what I was reading in one of
I
the
think
space pages?
stuff like what you call the edge of the solar system is not a
Decided
definitive,
on.
like, yes, all scientists agree, but I mean, dentists can't agree on toothpaste, right? So who knows?
Yeah.
Plus, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to tell from our. It's like how big is your house if you've only ever been in the living room? Like, I don't know.
Hey, that hurts. But yeah.
Well, no, but that's like we don't. It's hard to tell the size of the solar system because we've never been outside of it to like check. We're inside it. You're like, yeah, it's probably this big based on measurements that we can barely understand because they're so far away. But if the sun is the source of both gravity and like light and energy and radiation pressure emanating out of it, then like the bubble of space around it that pushes the solar wind and radiation into interstellar space, that is like the boundary.
Okay.
When the solar wind stops pushing out, and like the interference between the rest of the galaxy is like stops that. I think it's called the heliopause.
Why is it called the heliopause?
Because Greek stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
Helios
that's not.
means the sun.
Okay. The heliopause.
But it's basically, it's like this is the edge of the solar radiation pressure, where the sun stops like pushing stuff out, and the interstellar medium starts pushing against that edge and stops it. Kind of like a bubble.
Oops.
Where air pressure would stop the bubble from going.
Okay, so here's a question. So what I'm curious about, and do they know if like the solar system formed because of the sun, and then the planets developed around it, or did everything just Medusa? I love Medusa in mythology. Oh, that's why I named my ship. Oh, I'm so clever. I forgot all about that, but that's a great name. I'm like, look at that. What? Anyway, what a great name.
My ship's named Olympia, but it's not because of a direct Greek reference. It's like a second-hand Greek reference.
But still, that's kind of You never said that when I was doing Medusa. Say Medusa. Maybe I would. I don't want to be a copycat. Okay, so let's say.
Jeez, stop copying me. Anyway,
Yeah,
the sun started it.
the sun did start it.
I mean, in like the short between those two choices, the sun is.
Did it
Like
attract planets? Like, did it attract things into its orbit? How does this work? How does this work?
Okay, so now we're on solar system creation. How is the solar system created?
Yeah, which is a good place to start. There you go. Yeah, how does the
Where
solar
do we
system
start?
get
Where
created?
it all began.
Yeah.
So, Big Bang, universe full of gas and stuff. Not really any solid objects, let alone stars and planets and things like that. It's just hydrogen and helium. And like we can look out and see these like nebulae and hydrogen 2 regions, stuff like that in space. And over billions of years, if the gravity of those particles will start collecting them together, because that's what gravity does in a zero-G environment.
Gravity is a really important part of this whole space thing. Just saying.
It's kind of like it's a fundamental force almost,
Yeah.
because it is.
Okay. It's more than just
The
apples.
But particles with mass will gravitate towards each other, and all of this gas and other interstellar dust and stuff like that eventually collects together. And because it's more particles in a certain location, it attracts more stuff. As the density increases, it just keeps doing that and doing that and doing that.
How does the
Until
solar
the-
system decide it's reached maximum solar system? Is it just based on what we decided that we know of or can perceive? Or is the
Okay.
solar system bigger than what we can even know?
Are you talking about that heliopause that I was talking about? What do you mean?
Yeah, or just our solar system. You know, what if
Yeah.
the sun has a lot more planets and stuff than we can figure out because we can't see it all or whatever, our
the longest-
limitations?
For quite a while it did.
Okay.
We thought, like Galileo looked up, was like, what's that shit? And they didn't have
great-
telescopes that could see, like Uranus and Neptune, for example, for thousands of years. They didn't know they were there. That's why a lot of classical stuff, like astrology and like older,
Are in the sky constellations, which is really cool. Get a good sky app for your mobiles, people. There you go on, please.
yeah, like a lot of the classical, not really religions.
It's just stuff based on stuff they imagined they could see in the sky, based on star constellations.
Well, it was, but they only went up to basically Saturn because that's all they knew about at the time.
What if we haven't got the technology yet, even though we think we're so smart, and there is more in this solar system and it's bigger than we think?
We do that constantly, though.
Like we just found another planet and stuff like that.
Every
Yeah.
time we update technologically, we're like, this is the fucking best ever. We figured it all out. And then we learn new stuff, and we're like, actually, we were totally stupid back then. Now we know. Now we have it right for sure. Definitely.
Like even this week, they're like, there's more planets and moons with planets, and there's more than just Pluto with planets, and all this
While I
stuff.
was growing up learning about astronomy, they kept finding more moons of Jupiter.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it has like 48. And they're like, no, now it has like 67 or some shit.
Which is the one that has 100 or something? Something has 100 or 200 moons? What's that one?
It's either Jupiter or Saturn.
Okay, we'll get there
Because they're
eventually.
Because they're the biggest planets.
Ooh, sounds by Brad. I was about to call you Bruce. It's been a problem all week. I keep calling Brad Bruce and Bruce Brad. I'm sorry. It's a Bruce. Sorry.
Coffee Sounds is its own tier.
Yeah.
Coming soon. GM.
Yeah.
Um,
Coffee sounds would. Coffee sounds would be a great tier, but I'm tiered out. Too late. That would have been a good tier, you know.
maybe.
That would have been coffee sounds. I love coffee sounds. So you're doing the correct. Okay, go on.
So just to finish that first part about how solar systems are created, basically dust accumulates over millions of years, eventually gets so dense that it's called a protoplanetary disk. Which it kind of is like gravitationally designs the solar system as to where like the planetary orbits will all be. because they all kind of level out onto the same plane. Like it's just a big record of dust spinning around the center.
Kids,
and all that
records
dust
are.
eventually. Yep, it's vinyl's the OG.
Yep. Vinyl's back in, so it's okay. They know what that is. Go on.
Yeah, eventually it all accumulates into the star at the center, and the density gets to the point where it'll trigger nuclear fusion to create a star, and all the planets basically do that, but at a smaller scale.
Okay.
If it's only gas and stuff, you're going to make a big gas giant like Jupiter or something. If it's gas and it's cold, it's going to make an ice giant like Neptune. If it's a bunch of like rocky, hot stuff closer to the sun, it's going to make a Mercury or an Earth or Mars.
Okay, I have something for you. The topic is math, right? Says Bruce. Bruce, you just once he heard his name.
The topic is always math.
The topic is always math. Okay, this question is for Bruce. What does my very educated mother just served us nachos mean? If you can't answer it, Bruce, I'll hand it over to Brad.
What?
My very educated mother just served us nachos.
No,
you know it?
Yeah.
We'll give Bruce like 2 seconds to catch up. He says, say that again. My very educated mother just served us nachos, Bruce. In relation to the solar system, do you know what that means?
You have 5 seconds.
You have 5 seconds to kind of look smart. We're talking about elementary, primary. Look, I can't give you any clues. You're supposed to be smart, Bruce. Sorry.
It's a mnemonic. Hint, nudge, hint.
Oh, he's Brad. He gets a help from Brad there. You're fucked. Okay, Brad. Well, take it away, Brad.
The first letter in all of those words is the same letter that's the order of the planets from the sun out.
Can you let us know them then? See, so simple. You thought you were so smart, Bruce. I was about to say Brad. Sorry. You thought you were so smart, Brad. Well, can you tell us them then? Let me try to guess.
Okay, so what's my?
My is Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
What is the next one? Very
is
Venus.
Yeah.
Venus. Old Virgin says order of the planets. Welcome, Old Virgin. Educated would be Earth. I was like, what planet?
Yeah. What's that other? What's that E
I was
planet?
like,
I don't know.
what planet starts with E? I don't remember a planet that starts with E.
Super Earth starts with an S, so it can't be that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute.
Next.
What is Earth? Mother would be Mars because it's another M.
Yep.
Just would be Jupiter. Served would be Saturn. Us would be Uranus. And
yes.
Yes. And nachos would be Neptune.
Yep.
Bruce, it's a shame you didn't know that. And Bruce says, very interesting username for the Old Virgin. Oh, there you go. Yeah. No shame in that.
They inspired
Bruce,
a movie.
one day that could be and then one day that could be your username, Bruce. If you
Shots fired.
Anyway, so there you go. That was I guess that was a way to remember the planets, but I forgot what the E was, so I've been on Super Earth too long, so. Okay, so from there, that's wild. What?
Planets. I wonder if there's a new one to include all the dwarf planets that are there.
What did they do with the P, though? What did it used to be before my very educated mother just served us nachos?
I think before that mnemonic, you just remembered the planets.
Oh, back in our day, we didn't have a mnemonic. We just remembered the planets.
I don't
by name.
There may have been one. I just can't remember it.
Maybe they added my very educated mother just served us nachos.
Please. I don't know.
All I know, says Bruce, is that Uranus's ring is cooler than Saturn. I don't know. Like, which one is it that is basically an ice rink? I thought that was Saturn that has an ice rink, basically, of.
Well, Uranus would be colder because it's further away. And Neptune has a ring, but it's much fainter because there's not a lot of it.
Are you sure? Because when I was reading stuff on those websites, there was something about one of them having like it's so cold that it was on the NASA site. Hold on, let me load up. Research time. If you guys are in the Discord, you can do some of the research yourself. It's in the Let's Discuss the Solar System.
Try this at home.
And I shared all these links to it because Brad hates GPT. And yeah, I'm going to the NASA. Is it NASA or NASA? Is it Neptune the coldest, says Bruce? I don't know, Bruce. You didn't know about nachos, so I don't know. Brad?
It's really far away, but there could be other mechanisms that make other places colder.
Yeah, I'm like, just because something's far away doesn't mean it's cold. Just because far away doesn't mean it's cold. Just saying. Do you know what's cold? You know what's cold? Mars. It's cold.
Yeah, but not like Neptune cold.
No, but it's colder than we've been told. It's not some red hot warm planet like you imagine. It's cold.
I don't know.
Did you know
anyone would imagine that. It has a very thin atmosphere, so yeah, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like gypped. I think they lied to me because I imagined that it was a red hot. Mars is red hot, you know? And,
no, it's red because it's all rust.
Yeah, but it's
iron oxide. It's very
fancy with your iron oxide.
Well, there's different kinds of corrosions. Can't just say rust.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, it's not red because it's like molten or anything like that.
Old Virgin says, doesn't Neptune generate its own heat?
Yes.
Oh, well, tell us more, please.
Almost. I'm pretty sure all the planets do.
But there's something special. There's nothing special about Neptune generating its own heat? I guess it's for the...
Well, gas planets and terrestrial planets are different. Like, obviously, some of them are only gas, like Jupiter and Saturn, and Earth and Mars and Mercury and Venus are rocky bodies.
We're a rocky body. We're a rocky body. We're on a rocky body.
Rocky road. But they have liquid cores because it's so hot.
Liquid hot magma.
Magma, yes. so their cores are molten or like solid iron or that kind of stuff.
How do we know?
Because we've been there in that core movie, remember? That movie was terrible.
No, but
can't recommend it.
Yeah, no. Watch all the '90s movies like that.
We've guessed. We've approximated.
So we're just guessing.
We haven't directly measured it because we can't get there yet.
So we don't know for sure. So what if it's got like...
But science tells us that it's like that because we can, like earthquake waves, for example, travel through the entire Earth, and their reflections against things like molten rock or the iron core and things like that. We can detect the deviations that they make passing through objects like that, and we can test that on the surface with, real materials that we can access.
So how are we doing that with the space stuff so far away?
It's the principle. We apply the principle that we've learned to things that we observe in space. Be like, well, this kind of, it's like if it smells like shit, it tastes like shit, it's probably shit. So it's like, it's acting like the science that we already understand. So maybe it's
what about the same thing we don't know?
It's hard to describe something we don't know.
Good point. Okay, we got comments. I thought we were just talking... Doesn't that... Okay. Old Virgin says either Neptune or Uranus generates more than our best models can explain. It's interesting.
Yep. Science can only answer so much.
Well, I'd like to know a few things about these various planets. Even this Earth place you speak of. Seriously, that one was hard to remember for some reason. I've been on Super too long. No, for real.
Welcome to Earth before it was Super.
Yeah. Well, make Earth
here's a pop quiz
again.
hot shot. Which planet's on its side?
Earth. In this game.
Nope. You have 8 more guesses.
No. Don't. I don't know. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Rolls on its side. Uranus rolls on its side.
Uranus rotates on its side. If you look at
why
like, any kind of like
Uranus rolls on its side. Sorry. First says, I guess it would be Neptune since it would need more heat than Uranus. Uranus is on its side, says Old Virgin. See, Old Virgin knows more than he or she, you know. Anyway, go on.
They're right. They're right. Uranus is on its side.
Why'd you ask that? Why are you thinking of Uranus on its side? Brad?
I figured it was kind of an easy question.
Oh, okay, sure. Look, not all of us are nerds out here, okay? Not all of us know about the solar system.
We're playing video games, talking about space in a podcast. We are all nerds.
It's true.
Some of us are just nerdy in different directions.
Right. Yeah, I do.
But any
I'm
kind of picture
divergent.
of, hey, here's all the planets of the solar system. Uranus is always depicted with its rings going up and down, and not like Saturn and Neptune where the rings are horizontal.
I never thought of that. I just thought it was like the artist was taking liberties with the...
Not with science, damn it! No artistic liberties. Only science. So yeah, it's theorized that at some point,
it
we
was
don't know
tilted
when,
on
but
its side?
sometimes since its creation, it got smacked by something that
I wonder what smacked Uranus! I wonder... You set me up for that!
I mean, it's science. You can't argue with science.
Is that the jokes you nerds would say in school? Because I never got the chance to say that. Okay, go on. I love it how in elementary school, Bruce said, they showed the planets like they are in a straight line. Yeah, I used to have a placemat on my wall that was an image of them all in a straight line. But they're not. What are they?
It'd be really big if you drew it to scale. I always like that.
Just so you can remember them.
I know there's a bunch of different... Well, yeah. It's just to reference them like that. And sometimes they're drawn to scale with each other. But yeah, the distance apart
was terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Scale.
Yeah.
Because I know there's many, many videos out there, whether it's a teacher or some other people that are just interested in astronomy, are like in a field, for example, and they have a ball that's like, hey, this is the sun.
Oh, and, Bill Nye, the science guy.
My friend way over there, who you can't even see, is holding like a grain of sand, and it's like, well, that's Mercury to scale, that kind of shit. It just shows you how.
And you're like, but really, no. But really, no. They're not within the same field. But yeah, it's an example. I get it.
Well, it's a big field. No, it's not an example. It's like they're making a scale, like, representation.
I seem to remember something like that from like TV. Like when, I don't know, something. I don't even think it was Bill Nye. I think it was something else. I remember that example.
Well, there's lots of people that have done it.
Yeah, they're like.
Bill Nye probably did.
I can't wait till you're doing that. Are you going to do that on the show someday? You could do that with like images on, like I mean, with figures on a table.
For Bill Nye once he passes along.
Yeah, no, Bill Nye created everything, says Bruce. Yeah, I mean, props to Bill Nye for creating science.
I like when he got really mad at people that didn't know science. He's like, we told you for years, you stupid people.
Yeah, he's pretty vocal. I actually appreciate that he's still consistent, consistently trying to be like science. Anything that man says is gospel. That's what I learned, says Bruce. Well, can you imagine being that intelligent and literally telling things from an elementary perspective and still having people that are like grown-ass people in positions of power say, no, what do you know about this stuff? We want to do stupid things.
Like, oh, we don't know. We've always studied it for our entire lives. I want a second.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of mean, but hey, he has a nice intro, says Bruce. Hey. Bruce, a fan of Bill Nye. I think he'll be a fan of you too, Brad, if you ever get a channel. I'm just saying. Yeah, he should be. Could you imagine being that knowledgeable? Can't not get a little mean when you're that knowledgeable. And you're seeing people be stupid. I mean, if William Shatner can have an epiphany when he sees the Earth from orbit or a bit of above orbit and be like, wow, we should take better care of the planet. And William Shatner isn't exactly known for giving a damn. Then, yeah, you know? What's that? That's called an effect. Whatever effect, it was the opposite of what Katy Perry had. Not that we want to pick on Katy Perry again, but I'm just saying. There's a certain thing that it's called when you go to space. I don't remember what it's called, but I learned about... No, not Space Madness. Where people get this certain, like, some astronauts, they get this certain perspective of the Earth when they see it from orbit, you know, when they see it. And they see it as being, oh, that's our home, that's precious, that we should take care of it. It's where we live, it's all we've got, you know, it matters. And
I can't remember, but it's like...
But there's a name for it.
Yeah, either like the... Because I know the pale blue dot is the picture, so it's not like the pale blue dot, but it might be the
there's
blue
an
dot
actual
effect,
term for
like
it.
the one Earth effect, or it's our only home, or something like that.
It's got a... Bill Nye is better than Neil deGrasse Tyson. I like them both as far as their science perspectives and their approach to helping people learn. I guess Neil is a bit more controversial personally, but they're both fantastic as far as the knowledge they put out there and their advocacy for learning.
Yep.
No? Yeah. I appreciate them both. Neil has this thing he shares with this guy that they both like talk, and the other guy basically is a smarter version of me. No, not me at all. But he's like, he asks like questions and has this whoa kind of like reaction to Neil explaining stuff.
I never knew that about science. It's like, yeah.
I recommend watching those channels. I don't think they need me to like suggest you subscribe to them, but yeah. Hey Bradley, thanks for stopping by. We're in space talking about the solar system. Okay, so the sun. I want to know a little bit more before we move on to Mercury or to.
Okay, we're starting with the sun. Makes sense. Start in the middle. Whoa!
Wait.
What the hell was that?
Wait, what?
Well, my game was.
I literally just got to a sun. What did it do?
My game was doing glitchy stuff.
Not good. Not good. I'm about to
the
go
space
too close to the sun.
Yeah, don't do that. Bad stuff has happened in the space radio.
Oh, I did ask you a question. Why don't we have more than one sun? And what would happen if we did have a sun? And what if another sun just came coming into our system? What if we don't know and there is another sun at the opposite end of the system that we can't see?
Okay, each of those is its own important, distinct question.
Well, please. We would die, says Bruce. Oh, and Old Virgin suggests check out Professor Brian Cox. Never heard of him. Have you heard of him, Brad? Brian Cox. And why do you hate us series, says Bruce. I don't hate you. Who's Brian Cox? Is he like a professor at a university? He is British, and therefore I don't trust him, says Bruce. Bruce doesn't mean that. That just means Bruce has heard of him. He's just being cheeky.
That's usually the opposite of facts.
Yeah.
If you have a British person narrating your video, it's probably true.
Yeah, it's just... We always believe our colonial... We're raised to believe it. We're Canadians, so we trust all British.
British people are less full of shit than, say, other nationalities.
Well, we were also raised to believe that, meaning colonizers. But yes. Brian Cox works at the Large Hadron Collider. What's that? Brad, what's the Large Hadron Collider?
That's that particle smasher thing in Switzerland.
Oh, so he's in Switzerland, eh?
All the people are like, oh, it's going to make a black hole and destroy the whole world. It's like, shut up. That's what they said about the nuclear bomb. They were wrong. Calm down.
Yeah, it only blew up like a city or
something. It only blows up stuff you drop it on, not the entire atmosphere. Calm down.
Okay. Well, it's terrible anyway. But yeah, like, calm down.
Drop pizza up bombs.
It's all how you use it. It's all in how you...
Okay, so which question about the sun did you want me to tackle first? Because I honestly can't remember all four of them.
Oh, one my gosh.
What happens if we have... Why do we only have one sun?
Yes.
So I guess that whole origin of the solar system there was only enough material to coalesce into one sun, and there was no gravitic disturbances that made it into like two little separate clumps that made two smaller suns.
It could have though made two little suns.
It could
What if
have,
there's
yeah.
a baby little sun that's somewhere else that floated
like,
away? It's
imagine
like,
if you
I
got-
don't want to be with you anymore. I
Imagine
don't want
if-
to be near my birth sun. And like it went to the other side of the solar system that we haven't found yet. It drifted
Okay, well,
apart like the moon is drifting away from us.
Interstellar dust doesn't really get to have like a domestic dispute and just leave. Gravity has to make it do that.
The sun split. Oh, can a sun split?
I don't think so.
Huh. Yeah, it would just explode, right?
Well, like say you had
Explode?
some crazy giant knife that just cut the sun in half for the purposes of this argument. It wouldn't just reform into two suns. It would probably... Bad things would probably happen.
Bad things. Bruce says, knowledgeable BBC science guy that understands E equals MC square and quantum universes. Oh, okay, so that's who Brian Cox is. He said, we would die if a sun splits. I ask again, why do you want all of us to die, series? Look, guys. I mean, we've had a good run, but...
Where's the reset button?
The red button. Like,
So could the sun split? Not without horrible consequences.
okay.
I think it would just stop working properly.
Did you know that the sun's surface is not... Wait, one or the other. Something like the sun's surface is not as hot as the outer edges of it? Like as you near it? Or vice versa? Something or
I do vaguely
another.
remember something like that. Like, yeah.
And I found that interesting. I'm like, well, then why... Is it a protection shield? Like, why does the sun have a cooler surface? And is that why we're sending certain probes up there to find out more? Because we're like, if we survive going past that, what happens
Yeah, I
if
think
we
there's, like,
get things on the sun?
Something in the chromosphere or some kind of like upper layer of its atmosphere is way hotter than the surface. So if we can survive through that, probes are more likely to survive.
The sun's
Closer to it?
surface. Yeah. So I'm like, there's
But
quite
I mean,
a
we're
difference.
talking. It might be. It's 5,000 degrees up here and it's 4,000 degrees down there. Yeah, it's cooler, but it's still gonna.
It's still going to burn us alive. So
Yeah.
again, Bruce would need to go up on that mission. Gotcha.
You can't go to the sun.
Bruce says, oh, but I really want to go. Bruce says, I kind of want the human species to survive for a really long time. That's a hot take there, Bruce. And Bruce says, more inside you get into the sun, the hotter it is, isn't it? No,
Inside, yeah.
apparently, well, maybe inside the core, but not, I guess, like, okay. From what I read when I did my brief lessons earlier, the sun is hotter as you near it than it is on the surface. That's all I know. Like that outer edge of the sun. Yeah. Something about
Well, that's
it.
like if you were to send a probe into the sun, once it's
Which
underneath
we're
that
trying to.
layer, it would immediately start getting hotter the deeper you go. It's a giant nuclear explosion happening all the time.
I'm not seeing anything. What the
Calm
hell's going
down.
on? I know.
Someone get the hose.
I know. I had a bath. I'm okay. But it's the way he said it. Old Virgin says some stars form in pairs, and the sun is a star, right? I learned that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So some stars, Old Virgin, welcome, by the way, to the channel. Some stars form in pairs and some don't. Depends on local gravitational conditions and amount of mass in its cloud of gas. We got another smart person in the chat. I am so happy to see you, Old Virgin. Wow.
So yeah, the beginning of the solar system was basically a big pile of dust.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was something to disturb it into like two distinct kind of regions, they could have
Too bad.
coalesced into certain stars.
Oh, that
So
would
we'd
have
have
been
two
neat.
suns.
That would have been neat, you
Or
know?
if it was started to coalesce and then there was some anomaly that passed through the system.
Did
So
we-
like another sun or a black hole flew by and started to disturb it, and then it's like it was already forming, but now it's forming separately.
We could have had two
It's
suns
difficult.
to fight over us. It would have been great.
But the mass that was here would have been divided, so they wouldn't be two of the same. Like it wouldn't be two yellow suns like we have. They'd be smaller.
Oh,
They'd be
like
red
when
dwarfs.
I'm on Elite Dangerous, when there's
Yeah,
different
they'd be two
size
red
suns.
ones.
Hello, Perfect Cell. We're talking about solar system tonight. Feel free to give any input about that or my
And the ones from
exploration techniques.
And the binary stars that we've observed in space, there's quite a few that are. I feel like it's more common for them not to be the same size. They're not like two sun-like stars like ours that are equal. There's usually a larger one and a smaller one, like Procyon or Sirius.
So
where there's like a big blue star and a tiny little red one that got the leftover dust and stuff.
Oh, Waterworld. So when we're seeing, okay, the sun is a star. Oh,
Yep.
another Waterworld. Oh shit! Wait, I got 2 Waterworlds, I think.
The Waterworlds.
Okay. But we see stars in the sky, right? Are they all suns?
Yep, every little speck of light out there is a sun.
So we're calling stars we're calling stars stars and that we see in the sky, but they're suns that burnt out, right? Like they're suns that faded out. Right? Is that what it is? The stars of light, they're generally dead, but we're seeing dead light, right? The stars are dead, right?
It depends on how far away they are.
Okay.
They have to be really far away.
Okay, so
And
here's
the
my
smaller
question.
they are, the longer they live.
Here's my question then.
Okay.
Are we a star in some other universe's sky? Is our
Absolutely.
sun? Okay, and here's another question. If all those stars are suns, why aren't we saying, look how beautiful all those suns look in the sky tonight?
Because the sun's the name of our star.
Why are we so whatever? It's Perfect Cell says our sun is called that because that's the name. Technically, Sola, the sun is a star. Old Virgin says our closest star, Proxima Centauri, is part of a system with 3 main sequence stars. We got smart people in the chat tonight, Brad. Go on. It's Brad Cell. Hello. What do you think of that? Do you want me to read it slower?
True statement? No,
Well, tell me more about that stuff, because I don't know anything about that stuff.
like Proxima Centauri?
Yeah.
That's the closest star system to Earth. It's like 4.3 light years away. And yeah, it's a triple sun system where there's, I think one's yellow, one's orange, and then Proxima is the red dwarf, which because its orbit is really far from the other two, it's technically closer to us. It's like a suburb.
Mm-hmm. The suburbs of solar system. We're somebody's suburbs. We're like some garbage neighborhood, probably.
And I'm pretty sure they have detected planets there around Proxima.
I wonder if there's...
So right away, our closest neighbor, they have a planet? Okay, well there's probably planets all over the place then.
Perfect Cell
the closest place we looked has one.
Oh, well there you go. So then we're not special. The Perfect Cell says, the stars we see in the sky are stars like our sun, though the further they are, the more likely they are already have burnt out. Just like me. Just kidding.
True.
True.
They have to be like tens of thousands or millions of light years away, though.
Wow. So
because the lifespan of most stars is measured in millions of years, so anything within like 1,000 is probably still alive.
So do the stars we see, are they mostly all alive? Is it the brighter that they are, they're more alive, or what? Solo Army says, I'm a Pisces. Wait. Solo, shout out to Solo.
Uh-oh.
I'm a Leo. We got fire and water, no wonder. I'm fire. I'm a Leo.
I
what
like
are
the main
you?
Sequences
You're an Aries. What are you, Brad? You're not an Aries. You're a,
Nope.
You're a Sagittarius? Sagittarius? Yeah. Oh. Everybody, Brad's a Sagittarius. Solo Army is a Pisces. Write it down. We got Solo Cameo, says Bruce. Bruce's worlds are colliding for Bruce.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's like, whoa. Solo Army, do you have anything to contribute about the solar system? You had to learn something when you were in the military. You had to be able to look up at the stars and know constellations to know where you are. Old Virgin is a
I think the
Capricorn,
Navy.
an old goat. Well, even if you're in the normal military, you had to know because you could end up being
The normal
lost.
military. No, like the Navy, the weirdos.
Yeah. It's like, no, everybody. Didn't you have to learn something about being
Celestial
able to
navigation?
navigate? Yeah.
It's more likely in the Navy.
No, I
'Cause you
think
don't-
even military, normal military had to learn the basics because anybody could get separated from the squad. I'm
Yeah, but
just
the whole
saying.
reason ships used it was because there was no like reference points like land and mountains and things at sea.
Boys are from Mars because we're superstars, says Solo Army. Really contributing to the high quality of this content. I appreciate you, Solo Army. Solo Army, did you see that button down in my chat there? I didn't know if you saw that little thing there, Solo Army. I'm just saying. I'm saying, just letting you know. Just letting you know. Perfect Cell said, fun fact, it would take us 8 minutes to notice if the sun would have disappeared. 8 minutes?
That's how long it takes light to travel from the sun to Earth.
Oh, well, look at you, smarty pants. That's because that's how much it takes for light to travel from the sun to Earth, says Perfect
I
Cell.
spoiled it. I'm sorry.
You
Spoiler
did!
alert.
I didn't get to read it! I didn't get to read it. Spoilers! Oh, man. It's going to take me a while to get to this water world. Girls are from Jupiter because they get more stupider, says Bruce. Fuck you, Bruce. Fuck you.
And we're back to
says
Grace.
anytime. At least I say I knew I didn't see your name that time. Okay, back on track.
Well, no, but you asked something that has it's like a complicated answer.
Like if another sun entered the solar system, or
No, it was way more recent than that. It was about the brightness and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Brighter stars are not necessarily closer.
Oh yeah.
Because it's it has to do with their. Okay, so imagine not only that, but the kind of star they are.
Well,
so imagine
it's
like.
I'm like, well, what's the difference? Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like that. I'm like,
no, it's so say someone has a match really close to your face, or someone has a campfire on the other side of like a baseball field.
Why would you put a match really close to your face? Okay, go on.
Light a match and hold it up to your face like that.
Okay, as one does,
because perspective, closer things look larger than to. Like looking out at them, they might appear to be the same size when obviously one is way further away and bigger, and one is smaller and closer.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to say the common reference I would use for that. That's why.
Yeah, please don't. Anyway,
I won't go there. I won't go there. Go on. I have some comment there though. Old Virgin said, if you look at the last two stars of the Big Dipper, you can trace a line through them, and the next star you cross will be the North Star. We have a poet there, too. I bet you Old Virgin writes poetry. I love poetry. Just saying.
There's a lot of stuff like that in the sky. Like asteroids that point at other prominent stars.
And Perfect Cell says
it's actually pretty helpful for that.
Yeah, see? And Perfect Cell says the brightness of the star depends on its luminosity, mass, and distance. Perfect Cell coming through with some smarty pants stuff, making Solo Army feel stupid over there. You're not stupid, Solo Army. Don't feel stupid if you're still there.
Maybe they're from Jupiter.
Girls are from Jupiter because they get more stupider, said Bruce. So no, apparently we're not from. By the way, no, Mars.
We're not from Jupiter.
Yeah, we're from Venus. Aren't women from Venus? And that was all just.
If you believe like razor commercials, then yes.
Yeah, something like that. Okay,
Anyway, yes, absolute magnitude versus apparent magnitude is basically the difference between how bright it actually is and how bright it looks because of either how crazily far away it is or how bright of a star it is. Like a high apparent magnitude is like, it's apparently bright, but it might not be as bright as something that's far brighter but further away.
There you go. I still wonder what would happen though if like another sun just like came in and said, "You know what, sun? Your time is up. We got another sun. I'm coming in. Just gonna pull these planets away from you. By the way, Pluto is a planet again." Like that would be pretty cool.
Well, what do you mean like that? Like you
I
mean
don't
like
know,
another
the sun from the other side. Yeah, a star. Another star just on the other side. It would
Okay,
disrupt the
that's like
space-time continuum.
you mesh two different concepts into one sentence, so I don't know how to answer that. If some star flew through our solar system, it would disrupt all of our gravity, and Earth would just fly away like all the other planets.
Aw, what if we
freeze
kept it together?
crisp.
Aw. Not
And
necessarily.
if
Maybe we can hold it together.
maybe there is some because it's been theorized that there was like a brown dwarf star at the edge of the solar system doing weird stuff with
There was?
gravity.
Why didn't nobody tell me?
It's like an offshoot to the whole Planet X theory, because all the measurements of all the outer planets are like there's more gravity out there. We can't explain what all these minor variances are, so there must be more stuff out there. Is there some giant Planet X? Is there another star really far
Planet X
away?
is a thing mentioned. I saw that in my research. There is a Planet X mentioned.
And at
Just
the
so you
same
know.
time, they're like, we found a whole
It's a
bunch
theory.
of minor planets out there. So maybe all of the gravity of all these smaller objects accumulated into, it's not Planet X, some giant planet beyond Pluto.
Uh-huh.
It's
I need to do my spectrum radio.
like almost 10. There's a lot of them out there, like Quora and Makamake and a whole bunch of other
I
bizarre
have to
small
look at
bars
the
that we can barely
chat.
see. Sedna.
I missed a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta like mirror check that once in a while.
I can't seem to get my, first of all, I can't seem to, my scanner, I gotta be able to go back out to be able to get the second water world, and I don't know how to, zoom is L2? Why won't it let me zoom?
What are you trying to do?
Adaptive zoom failed. I need to get to that second water world, and it won't let me.
You're trying to see it or you're trying to fly through it?
No, I gotta be able to see it in the scanner so I can mark it on the map. It won't let me do a zoom.
Are you trying to zoom through the sun?
I'm zooming while I'm in the space scanner. Let me catch up with the chat. First of all, Old Virgin says, if women are from Venus, can we not send them back? For Old Virgin, it sounds like you don't actually have a problem with women by your name, because you don't get any. Perfect Cell says, men are from Venus because we got a bigger penis. Got it. Things have deteriorated, Bruce. And Brad. See, I fucking called you Bruce. Bruce said, Pluto is not a planet. Yeah, you're a liar.
You
He's
shut
a
your
weird
filthy
one.
whole mouth.
Yeah, he's snotty nose kid. He's too small. Actually, do you know how many moons Pluto has? Perfect Cell says, if another star flew into our solar system, it would pull planets and possibly the sun itself around and fuck up the orbits and probably kill all life on Earth. Small price to pay for a new sun. Bruce says this chat has come to gold ever since Solo came along. Solo's being quiet, though. Old Virgin says, given the right conditions, the sun could capture another star or be captured by another. Zoom out, then yep, send them back. I'm trying to zoom out. Zoom out is L... How do I zoom? L2? It says adaptive zooms failed.
In red?
Yeah, look
It says it a lot. Like, I'm scanning a system right now, and it says that.
But I'm trying to get to the other... Oh, there we go. Now
It
how
usually
do
does
I
that
zoom
because-
in?
R2.
Okay, got it. I got it. Everybody calm down. I figured it out. So smart. Okay. Moving along. We've done enough about the sun. Nobody cares about the sun. It's just keeping our... Is it keeping us all going? Is that the whole point? It's the main thing, yeah. It's kind of
What
the
is it?
big
You're on
deal.
the center of the solar system?
But we'd have 8 minutes before we die? Or before we realize the sun is gone? We wouldn't die right away either, would we? Perfect Cells, do you guys
no.
believe... Oh, so there'd be a while. We'd have a struggle. That'd be great. Perfect Cells, do you guys believe we are the only planet with life? I surely don't. Well, it depends on what you think of as life. Like, yeah, of course there's other life. But do we believe, like, there's other humans? Or like, beings like us? I don't know. But I've also thought it's very ignorant and egotistical of us to think that we're the only kind of sentient life in vast universes. I mean, that seems like we're full of ourselves. But, you know. Have you been
God
playing
made this whole
Elite
universe
Long?
just for us series.
Have you been
sarcastic.
I know. Have you been playing Elite Long? Old Virgin, it's been a while. I'm rusty, but I did get Explorer Rank Elite, and no, not me, not
We've
long.
played all the Elite
But
Dangerous.
yeah, it's Brad that's done like a million whatever jumps and all that stuff. I played this for 4 weeks and 4 days a few years ago, all at once, and then I stopped. I mean, as in sapient life, Earth-like life, perfect cell. I've always thought that there has to be more than us out there. I think we're stupid not to think that we couldn't be. But we discussed this in previous episodes of Old Virgin. If you ever want to check out the Let's Discuss podcast playlist, we have gone into this topic because don't go yet though. Please enjoy it another day. But we've really gotten into stuff like this because we do find that topic interesting, haven't we? Haven't we talked about the possibilities of?
Yep.
Yeah, because, based on
It's
science
statistically
and
unlikely that
speculation.
we're the only sentient life in the entire universe.
Yeah. But at the same time, what we imagine, do we imagine that we are exactly like, and
If you want to think about like the Million Earths theory of multiverses and stuff, then yeah, there is other humans just like us.
yeah, we have
Because
gotten a
there's
bit
an infinite
physics
amount
over
of
here.
universes for those possibilities to take place within.
Exactly. They're called branches, by the way. We have gotten into a bit quantum physics over here a bit from time to time, haven't we? Which I
But
guess
it's like there could be, because we descended from primates, so there could be aliens that descended from fucking toucans or salamanders or all sorts of, like, think of an animal, and there could be millions of years of evolution and added onto the end of that.
Butterflies.
Yep, sentient fucking butterflies. It could be a thing.
Oh my god, that's so beautiful. What if butterflies already are sentient? We're just bastards and
Or
haven't
they're
realized
like
it.
racist assholes. Imagine that. Butterfly
No.
people and they're all dicks.
Please don't say that. Hold on, I'm gonna link this for you, Old Virgin, because I promise we're usually let's discuss. This is the link to it. Just bookmark it for later, because I'm telling you, we have talked about some of this stuff, and sometimes we have good talks. It all depends on the day.
Just like and subscribe, and then you'll be back for more.
Yeah. And this was like last week we talked about war in space, and then I need to pull it back for myself. Which is funny because then, of course, in the news, like war in space is like literally a topic this week, like big time.
And then
Like-
before that, we had the space debris because there was that
Oh, I
satellite that
love
was crashing
space
down to
debris.
Earth.
I love the space debris episode, but we tend to touch upon. There's always some overlap, and then we do get into some quantum physics theories or sci-fi stuff. But we like to also, Brad's the one, and other people within the community that are smarty pants like yourselves, bring us to the science facts as well. So we go all over the place. Sometimes we tie it into the video games and play, and sometimes we don't.
Well, yeah, because it started because it was basically what was happening in Helldivers.
With the
and
black
then trying to
hole.
find-
We started
and
with
trying to
black
find-
hole.
And trying to find like scientific connections that were like this is real science that we're talking about that has to do with the ideas put forward in this video game. Could that happen? What other things are like that?
Yeah.
Just kind of go from there. It's like, well, you can talk about terraforming and Death Stars and a whole bunch of other random sci-fi stuff,
Exactly.
and like other instances of it in fiction, or like this real scientific basis behind some of those things.
And I wanted to learn stuff. I like learning stuff. And I used to be, I have an interest in this. I just didn't get smart like Brad about it.
Retaining information is the ultimate side quest.
Yeah. Yeah, side quest. Bruce says, even if there's other life like us, I don't think we will ever see them, so I don't think we are alone, but we might as well be. Oh, ouch. That hurt my soul, Bruce. That's like, you're right. That's like, that could be...
all alone.
We are alone, though. Existentially alone, Bruce. In our own lives and in the universe, Bruce. Get used to that feeling. It will grow as you get older. Old Virgin says there has to be more than us, but finding them is going to be very difficult. Yeah, especially if they don't want to be found, which is a theory that many people have, especially the more they get to know humankind. I don't... Would you want to be
have you met
seen by
people?
us?
I would want to avoid us too.
Yeah. Have you
In
seen
fact, I
us?
do.
Have you seen us? Like, same. Have you seen us? Have you seen what we've been up to? Like, even if they just look at us for the past 100 years, yeah, they'd be like, oh, so much potential, but I think I'll swipe, was it left or right? Which one do you do to say no? I don't know. Whatever way you swipe, I bet you
Swipe
swipe up. I don't think you swipe up to get. You need to get
close app, close application,
close up and delete app. Um,
what are these things doing here?
Bruce says the butterflies just casually say racial slurs when flying. Oh my god! But we could talk about the butterfly effect with the solar system. That'd be a good tangent. Totally off topic.
With anything,
I know, but we could literally just tie it in. Okay, back on topic. Perfect Cell says sentient life did evolve from other animals. The Illuminate, those damn squids. Perfect Cell, you're a hell diver. Yeah, I love them though. I love fighting them. I'm so happy. I'll have a look later, says Old Virgin. I've said that before. I never look. But if you do get curious, Brad has talked about this stuff, and we've had great convos with people in the chat about that kind of stuff. Perfect Cell again says erasal squids from Earth. Yeah, it is fun. Like, because
we've already brought up racist butterflies today. That's kind of random.
Yeah, that's very random. Can you imagine? We're all like, because especially when they're migrating, they look so beautiful along Lake Ontario. They're just like, you know, and we're like, oh, that's so beautiful. It's such a majestic moment, and they're all just saying racist things as they fly by us. Oh my gosh!
Butterflies promote hate speech. Newsflash.
Monarch butterflies. And we're like making gardens to get them. We're planning stuff so they have food along the way for their long journeys, and they're just like cursing us out. Anyway, okay.
I hate this food. Why do they keep putting this out for us?
Yeah. Tell me. Let's go to the first planet then, Mercury. If they can travel in space, they've probably been here and decided there's no intelligent life here, says Old Virgin. Exactly.
Yeah, I've made the analogy where the solar system and all of our broadcasts and stuff that.
So like, no thanks.
It's like driving by a crack house and just hearing like a domestic dispute. Would you want to go knock on the door and say hi? You'd be like, "Fuck that! Get the hell out of this neighborhood."
Yeah.
I'm calling the cops.
Or just, walk by.
Call the space cops on these losers.
The space cops. I don't even think they want to do that. I think they're just like, nope, not a problem. We're going on. Perfect Cell says, what if aliens are watching us, treating us like zoo animals? Maybe. We
talked about zoo animals better.
Yeah, but they or put us down. We have talked about that we could be watched, but like as if we were some experiment, but who knows? Anyway, let's get back to the solar system. Bruce says everybody loves a crack house. I don't know what you're talking about. I get free drama right there. Wow. Free drama?
Anyway, we're going to talk about Mercury.
Yeah, please tell me about Mercury and why. Okay, here's the thing. I know Mercury is an element. I know Mercury is in the thermometers. Why is there a planet called Mercury? What's the connection?
Mythology.
Well, tell us.
We named the element after the same thing we named the planet after.
Why?
The element after the planet, or did we name the planet after the element?
I don't know. You better get out your type thing and figure it out. I need facts.
Pretty sure it was the planet first.
Perfect Cell says Pluto is a planet. You can't change my mind. Perfect Cell, you've just revealed that you are in the 40-something age range to us now. So thank you very much. Because it takes late 30s and above to have cared about Pluto being a planet. Sorry you outed yourself like that, man. It's okay. Bruce says, I shall disrespect your opinion, Perfect Cell. We bully Pluto supporters. See, Bruce is a young kid, apparently. So
Bruce is a jerk.
Bruce is a jerk. We can't call children that, but yeah, Bruce is a... Bruce, see, that just proved my point. That just proved my point.
Don't be a jerk. Won't be called a jerk.
Yeah. See, we're very sensitive, us elders, about Pluto. Because Pluto's got... Mercury is the name of the messenger god in Greek mythology, says Old Virgin. Look at that. Old Virgin and Preston series. And Perfect Cell says, well, damn you, Pluto is a fucking planet. See? Bruce, I think you're outnumbered in this chat right now. You gotta bring the young uns in here, and please don't. Because I don't even think Anklo would take your side on this one. Anklo has respect for his elders, so... Anyway, back to Mercury. Can you tell me anything about Mercury, the planet? And why is it next? Why is it closest to the sun? What's it doing there? Between us and, you know? Is it good that it's there? Is it good that we're not the first planet nearest the sun?
Yeah, it's kind of too hot there.
So Mercury is like kind of our buffer. It's like our safety blanket planet.
Not really. It's kind of like if you're next to hot stuff, it's going to be hot there. And we're in a comfortable zone because we're not right next to a star.
So Mercury is the first planet between us,
like
right? My mother...
Like
wait.
What?
Oh, shit, I fell out of frickin' thing again. Mercury doesn't really have an effect on Earth's existence, says Perfect Cell.
No.
That's harsh. What if Mercury is like, listening? Mercury's like, damn, like we've been satellite watching you guys the whole time. The beings are right there and they're on there just watching us real up close going, you sons of bitches.
Mercury's not like a buffer or anything. It's not like Earth is cooler in temperature because Mercury's there, like, soaking up heat, like a fucking blanket or something like that.
So it's just there.
It's just there.
Mercury is closest to the planet to the Earth most of the time. Which is the planet that has, like, 1 year being 1 day for us? One day of it is, or 1 year on that planet is 1 day for us. Which planet in our solar system?
None?
None?
I think you're thinking like Mercury is totally locked.
Not Mercury. I'm thinking of a different planet. Like, isn't there a planet that...
There's not a planet in our solar system that's like that.
Mm-mm. I have to look that up. I was pretty sure I saw a fact like that about that.
There are some planets where its year and its day are the same thing because they rotate around the sun the same speed they rotate as a planet.
Yeah. They would count as a year.
But not an Earth day because it's only 24 hours.
Okay.
If something was orbiting the sun in that time frame,
for them it's a year.
Apart.
Okay, let me find out. I know
a year is really just the definition of an orbit of the sun.
Okay.
So that's why a year on Earth and a Martian year is different.
Okay. Well, I want to know more about... Wait. Maybe Mercury is the closest... planet to Earth most of the time. Why can't I get back on track? We gotta get a super cruise. That would be extremely fast. Series, what would be? Maybe a couple of months, but not a day. I don't know what I saw. Jupiter rotates like 10 times faster than Earth, I'm pretty sure, says Perfect Cell. And Old Virgin says it's also tidally locked, so its day is actually longer than its year. There you go. I think I'm in trouble. I'm too close to this water world. I have to get away from it, but I don't have how do I go to next system? There we go. Okay, I'm better now. I'm sorry, I forgot how to play. Okay, enough of that. Nobody cares about Mercury? We really care so little about Mercury? I thought we'd have more to say about Mercury. Nobody cares about Mercury. That's too bad.
Well, what more stuff do you want to talk about?
It has no atmosphere and it has extreme temperatures. That's about it. Venus.
No, we're not done with Mercury yet. I was just about to say some shit.
Oh, well then say some shit then, please. But before you do that... Oh.
What?
No, please go on.
So because it's close to the sun, we think there's lots of metal there that can be useful in the future. So it's good for...
Mining
prospects. Because one side faces the sun, it'd be like, hey, that's a good place to have solar arrays on the surface, for example, to power these mining things. So there's a lot of fiction that has Mercury as just a big industrial complex.
Oh. But we haven't done that. But we don't talk about doing that either right now.
Well, I feel like it's kind of easy to send probes there because it's close to the sun, so we don't have to fight the solar gravity.
Have we done it?
Yeah, Messenger was a probe, I think, that we sent there.
Perfect. Old Virgin says Mercury was also the first proof of Einstein's theory of relativity. How? And Perfect Cell said, did you know Mars is within the sun's habitable zone? Nice to know. That's probably why they want to inhabit it.
It's on the edge. It's a little cold, but it's in there.
So what do you think about what Old Virgin said? Mercury was also the first proof of Einstein's theory of relativity. How?
I don't know.
Yeah, you tell us, Old Virgin. You got Brad stumped.
Random facts thrown in there.
I don't know. You stumped Brad? Why? Brad, you don't... But I'm counting on you, Brad. To know more. To know more. I don't know if it's true.
Are we talking about the solar system? Are we talking about general relativity?
Mercury. About Mercury being the first proof of Einstein's theory. Proof. How? Where does that statement come from, Old Virgin?
Yeah, if you're going to fact drop, elaborate on that.
Yeah. Why? How? Was it like
No cartographic data detected. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you need to have cartographic detection.
There, page 2.
Oh, Red Dog, it was a Stinga man dropped a membership on you. He did 5 memberships in the last live stream, so you are a member against your will. I'm sorry, Red Dog, but congratulations. You were one of 5 people. So if you're wondering,
you've been enslaved. I mean, recommended.
Yeah, we have emojis. Just let you know. Oh my God, he figured it out. Holy emojis. Bruce says, what if we just absolutely destroy Mercury so that we don't talk about this that disgusting planet ever again? Yeah, I'm with Bruce on that. Old Virgin said, it has a very peculiar orbit, and no one knew why until Einstein explained that it was being perturbed by other planets. Okay, well, thank you for that.
There you go.
Sure, we appreciate you, Old Virgin. I'm sorry. Can I call you anything else?
Just call him Verge.
Verge? He's on the verge of...
Oldest.
The Super Earth says perfect stuff. No, we don't use that S word in here, Bruce, but yeah, Earth.
We're talking about regular Earth. It's not super yet.
Yeah, I did forget about Earth, though. So we're now on to Venus, the next order of the sun, from the sun. I want to know about Venus. Wait. So how about that Orcus, am I right? Are you talking about recent space news, Red Dog? Isn't that a newfound planet or something? Tell me what the Orcus is, please. Red Dog, elaborate.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, because Brad doesn't read news. He's scared of the news right now. I'm just kidding. Or OV. I can't call you OV.
That is erroneous.
Yeah, he reads news every day. No, there's a planet that scientists call Super Earth. It is an Earth-like exoplanet, says Perfect Cell. Oh, well, there you go. Huh. Orcus.
Not capital S, capital E, though.
Red Dog says Orcus, our solar system's second dwarf planet, like Pluto. Oh, well, there you go. Is that recent news? Because I know I saw something and I tabbed it, but I didn't get to read it because I got really tired. It even has its own moon. Is this news? Like, this is in today's news, right? Like 7 days ago or within the past few days, right?
He might just be talking about other stuff in the solar system.
No, I think he's talking about recent news because I was seeing something, but I just didn't. Is that what it is, Red Dog? Is that the recent news about another? And they suspect it has ice volcanoes, so volcanoes in the news. Yeah, it's in the news. It's in the news. I did see something about another thing with more moons and stuff, and then it may have as many moons as Pluto or a similar kind of deal. I don't think Pluto has a moon, says Perfect Cell. I'm pretty sure Pluto is a binary system. Wrong. It has many moons. Pluto has moons. Tell us how many moons they have. Holy shit, that's erroneous there. I used Brad's word. That is erroneous. Perfect Sal, you were doing so well. Pluto has ice volcanoes? Okay, but Pluto has moons. Pluto does have moons. Pluto used to be the 9th planet, but was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. But Pluto has moons. Let me Google that. Pluto has moons. Pluto has five known moons: Charon, Nix, Hydra, Kerberos, and Styx. Oh, like the band in the 70s? Charon, sorry if I'm butchering this. Is the yeah, that's right, yeah. The rivers of hell.
Because there are deities in various cultures about the underworld.
Charon is the largest, I'm seeing around, largest is almost half the size of Pluto, while the other 4 moons are much smaller and were discovered more recently, with Nix and Hydra found in 2005, Kerberos in 2011, and Styx in 2012. That is so recent. The moons of Pluto, there's a whole wiki page for it. Perfect Cell. Oh my god, to be wrong and there to be a wiki page. It's sometimes considered a binary dwarf planet. Pluto and Charon are sometimes considered... Wow. There's circumbinary moons. What's that? Circumbinary moons.
They orbit each other. It's not like the Earth and the Moon, where the Moon orbits the Earth.
Pluto's 4 small circumbinary moons orbit Pluto at 2 to 4 times the distance of Charon or whatever, ranging from Styx at 42,700 kilometers to Hydra. Oh, look, too many numbers. They have nearly circular prograde orbits in the same orbital plane. Yep. Look, let's just say you're very wrong.
Look at you throw out astronomy terms like prograde.
There's too many. There's too much. Pluto has ice volcanoes, said Red Dog. Pluto has 5 moons. Perfect Cell says Pluto has 5 moons. My mistake. Old Virgin says Venus is named after the goddess of love. It used to have an Earth-like atmosphere, but a runaway greenhouse effect destroyed it. Ouch, Old Virgin. Red Dog says Pluto is the Greek god of the underworld. See, Red Dog connecting to what you said, Brad. Probably while I was rambling. Red Dog said similarly, Orcus is in the Roman equivalent and god of the underworld. We're really deep into Hades right now, like we're into hell. You can tell how we're feeling about Earth right now when we're naming things after hell. You know what I'm saying? No? Anybody feeling it? Okay.
This is like a naming convention we went with.
Perfect Cell said, damn, Earth has only 1 moon. It fucking sucks, bro. Why couldn't we have more than 1? I agree, Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell says a night sky would be beautiful. I know, right? Could you imagine 2 beautiful moons? But if they were at different... if we had 2 moons, do you think they could be at 2 different cycles of the moon if they were in 2 different positions orbiting the Earth? Or would that not make any sense? Would they both be full at the same time? If we had 2 moons.
It would depend on where they were. Because they could be almost anywhere in the ecliptic.
If they were Earth's moons.
Yeah. But say they're like opposite each other in their orbit, then one would be full when the other was a new moon. And it would be like they would be opposite of each other.
I would love that. I would love that. Oh my gosh. See,
we wouldn't have any tides though. If we had 2 moons that were the same.
But the sun affects the tides more than the moons that we've... Anyway, but yeah. Bruce says, Earth believes in monogamy. Perfect Cell. Bruce. Red Dog says, all of Pluto's moons are named after the underworld. That's pretty cool, Red Dog. Thank you. Perfect Cell says, I'm pretty sure Earth could handle 5 Luna Earth moons size moons. Perfect Cell believing that Earth can do it. We can handle 5 moons. We can handle 5 moons.
Maybe not the creation of them, though.
Not the creation of them. Considering we did discuss in a previous episode how Earth and the Moon have similar things because it's believed that either they collided...
Something smashed into the Earth. Something the size of Mars is thought to have smashed into Earth and made the Moon. Mm-hmm. So if it happened 5 times, Earth might just get the shit kicked out of it and it's not there anymore.
We could use a good beating, though. I'm just saying. And it'd be hot if it turned out to have a few more moons. I'm just saying it might be worth it.
Earth is just actually a debris field with 5 moons around it.
That'd be great. That'd be great, though. We'd have more moons. Perfect Cell says, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere. Yeah, we could...
4 moons for an Earth.
Yeah, I will. I'll trade human existence for a couple more moons for the future. Uh, Old Virgin says the distance a moon orbits depends on its mass. Yeah, yeah. Bruce says Sirius must
Yep.
be anti-human at this point. Look,
That's a
Bruce, that's a bold statement. I'm
random
just
facts abound.
random facts. Do you think I'm anti-human? Anti-human? Brad? Like Brad? Okay, Perfect Cell says we
Maybe.
must.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's why Brad and I get along. Brad says, Perfect Cell says we just need 4 more Mars-sized planets to hit us. Light work, exactly. Perfect Cell, think positive. Red Dog says, gotta be careful asking for 2 moons. Our current moon does a good job protecting us, but more moons means more possible impacts from asteroids and stuff. Plus, our magnetic field could change. Red Dog is like, I love our moon. I don't want to change a thing. The moon, one moon is good enough for me.
He's
It's
not
beautiful.
polymoonous.
Yeah, he's not polymoonous. Red
Like,
Dog is a
when's it at the
one moon
moon?
kind of guy. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
one moon kind of guy. Oh wait, I forgot I'm playing this game. That's not good.
And you flew into the sun.
No, I didn't do anything. I just was like, jeez. Action packed, Elite Dangerous. You're right, this topic has me. Old Virgin says, we don't know if we have more moons because they could be small and we couldn't detect them. Good point, Old Virgin. Is that possible, Brad? Brad? Do we have smaller moons?
Maybe. We have, like, asteroids that sort of act like moons because they orbit at our, like, range points, but that's not, like, the definition of a moon.
There you go. Right now. Perfect
But
Cells
hey,
is
is there something that's outside of our realm of understanding that could exist? Absolutely. Is it
Maybe.
likely? Maybe not.
But maybe.
It's a non-zero possibility.
Perfect Cell says, but Red Dog, 5 moons would look beautiful though. And Perfect Cell said that. Red Dog says, I like balance. We have good balance. Do we though, Red Dog? Do things feel like they're balanced right now? I'm just asking the question. Perfect Cell says, maybe it could balance itself out after a while though. Oh, Perfect Cell's like, I just really want 5 moons.
Gravitational equilibrium, man.
Yeah.
Aspire.
Big Beautiful Bruce says, oh, by the way, Big Beautiful Bruce, I thought of you when I heard a Big Beautiful Bill. Just thought I'd say, give a shout out and say, did you think of yourself? No. But I wonder if Big Beautiful Bruce knows about the Big Beautiful Bill. Anyway, we're not going to get on that topic. I'm just saying, Bruce, you might want to change your name soon. Because of correlations. I'm just saying. Bruce also says, okay, Bruce says, our moon has been very faithful to the Earth. Unlike Jupiter, who doesn't care about its 100 moons. You don't know that. Maybe Jupiter loves all 100 moons equally, or they all have, like, a good arrangement. You don't know. Don't be so judgmental. Those 100 moons have stuck around now, haven't they? They're still with Jupiter now, aren't they? Maybe those 100 moons like it. Maybe they like doing their own thing. Zombie Plays TBS says, what's this game about? Okay, Zombie, this is Elite Dangerous. I'm doing exploration jumps. I'm an explorer.
It's about space.
Yeah, I'm an explorer. And you could be a combat. Like, I am in a ship. You could do combat. But I am safe in the core bubble of their server where no one's going to blow me up except myself. And I can get cartographics. So you could play this game and do combat and all that stuff, but I am just traversing space.
Up there, you psychopaths.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. Red Dog says, one more moon and then you have the 3-body problem. Things become unpredictable. Did you read that book or watch that series? I have not done either, but that is interesting to bring that up. I would like to read the book. I heard there's a little bit of racism in it, but there's some good stuff too. Perfect Cell is really trying here. It's like, can we have an asteroid? And Bruce is pointing out that I'm a pioneer in space. Red Dog says, we do have asteroid Perfect Cell. Many, they come visit us all the time. We have asteroids and comets. I've read the book and I've studied the physics of the 3-body problem. Oh, cool, Red Dog, because I am interested in reading the novel. It was big on BookTube for a bit there, and I know there was a series on Netflix, and I am interested in it. And I remember the plot being about how she got contacted by, aliens. She got to make the decision of whether to. She made a decision on behalf of humankind to give them our coordinates. Tell them where we were. So I don't know if you heard about that, Brad, but it was the thing. Okay, back to the topic. Old Virgin says more moons would largely upset our equilibrium, leading to unpredictable tides, what Brad said, and therefore unpredictable weather patterns. Life may not survive. We may not survive already our weather patterns right now that we've created ourselves.
But like if you go back into like our evolutionary past, it would have messed stuff up so that maybe we would not have evolved at all because it would have been too chaotic.
Exactly.
So maybe one moon is good.
One moon's fine, yeah, like Red Dog wanted it. And then Perfect Cell says small prices to pay for a beautiful night sky. You need to do some painting there, Perfect Cell, and then you can put as many moons in the sky as you want. I'll stick to Helldivers and Star Citizen, says Zombie Plays TBS. I play Helldivers. I got about close to 700 hours on there since the end of October, so if you just happen to come by here randomly for some reason, I do have a lot of Helldivers content on here. I am known to be a pretty good jump packer and a terrible player, but there's lots of enjoyment to be found if you're that curious.
Yeah, you played like jump pack hole-in-one sometimes. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I did that on a previous episode of this Let's Discuss podcast. Sometimes I play Helldivers on this podcast, other times I don't. Every Friday is this podcast, and you never know what I'll play. I just thought I could focus more on the solar system this week and the discussions and be prepared to quiz Brad later on the 88 constellations if I'm doing this. But please enjoy Helldivers. We are in the middle of the invasion of Super Earth. We still have some mega cities to protect. We don't want those rich people losing their places to live, okay? Red Dog says the book is sci-fi. The physics is a mathematic problem that hasn't been solved yet. Yeah, Red Dog. Yeah. I know. I was curious about it. And like I said, it was big on Book Talk, so BookTube. I think there's some good things addressed on it. Perfect Cell says, do you guys believe in wormholes? We have covered this in 2 episodes, have we not? We probably will talk about it again. Brad, do you want to deter from the solar system and tell him a brief thing for Perfect Cell, who's been so despondent about moons? We can give him some joy about wormholes before we go back to topic, if you like.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, he goes, do you guys believe in wormholes?
Yeah.
The short answer.
We even believe in multiple types, because there might be multiple types.
There you go. Yeah. We be right back. No problem, Old Virgin. Yeah, we have 2 episodes. Our very first episode of this podcast was called...
Space Holes!
Was called Space Holes, yeah. And then we had an episode called Let's Talk About Black Holes later. But we probably will talk about wormholes again before long. I mean, they've definitely
sci-fi thing.
Yeah, and they are definitely calling it a wormhole now for that the Illuminate came through. By the way, which we knew was going to happen.
I told you that it was the perfect Trojan horse.
I know. You told me, and I just wouldn't listen. No, I knew it was too. They said it was a wormhole last year, and then they changed it back to whatever. Somebody let it slip too soon, I think.
That's the Ministry of Truth. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Just lying right to your face.
Yeah, lying with their face all the time. The math says they exist. Yeah, the math does indeed, Red Dog. Perfect Cell says, what about white holes? The theoretic opposite of a black hole. We indeed covered that as well, did we not, Brad? We talked about white holes.
Yeah, the concept is the white hole is like the other end of a black hole. It's like if this black hole is consuming all this stuff, where is it going?
Mm-hmm. We've talked about it.
It's like a fountain, just throws energy into space.
I honestly do recommend that you check out the Let's Discuss. Look, I will go up to the
You got a link.
Yeah, I'll go up to that link. I'll go up to the link that I already shared because we already know the topic is the solar system, but we keep going off it. But I'll share the link. Look, I got the link. Ooh, I love how those emojis look, by the way, Red Dog. Thanks again to Stingaman for being the first to super chat. I mean, not super chat, the first to, not super chat. You were the first super sticker, Red Dog. It was the first gifting of subs. Okay, here, I'll share the link again. Let's discuss.
Subs, not dubs.
Subs, not dubs. I have no idea what he just said. Let's discuss space podcast. We haven't actually called it the Let's Discuss Space podcast, but we'll link it right there. That's the playlist for those that are coming in. That keep asking, because I swear we've talked about this stuff. We're only on the second planet. Like, what the hell? We don't have all night.
We did kind of like detour about racist butterflies and black holes and stuff.
So we didn't talk much about Venus.
Nope.
About how it's the hottest planet.
I think
thick toxic atmosphere and spins backwards.
Yep. Virgin mentioned the whole runaway greenhouse thing, so
that's what it. Oh.
That's totally what happened to its atmosphere and why it's kind of hellish for us to try to go there.
Is that why they say women are from Venus, because of the thick toxic atmosphere? You guys are assholes. How dare you compare us to Venus?
I mean, I don't know if anyone here invented that phrase because it's fucking old.
Right, right.
Nor are any of us necessarily like backing it up. Be like, no, it's totally right. You're right.
Yeah.
Men are from Mars.
Thank
right?
you. But they're not, man. We're all from Mars.
It's just some shitty, antiquated phrase.
It is.
To kind of point out that, hey, we're not the same.
We're different, but we are. We have different things. Yeah. Okay. Red Duck says, not trust something you don't understand is dangerous, Bruce. Trust the experts and math to sound. Oh, Bruce says, Red Dog, but I don't trust math. Put it in an English form essay and maybe I'll understand. Bruce is being sarcastic there, Red Dog, just so you know. No, Bruce is being sarcastic. I'm there for English. But yeah, Bruce is a math guy. Don't worry. That is funny, though. Red Dog, you know Bruce. You know
explaining things with math supersedes explanations in English. Take that.
But if we didn't have the way of explaining things so wonderfully, you wouldn't give a shit about math. You can't just point at the things in math without being able to talk about it.
Math is universal language.
Yeah, that's true, but you know what else is
take your English and go right outside. Math is speaking right now.
Yeah, well, you know how you're talking to me? You're talking to me with beautiful words, and those words I'm hearing more than math. Okay,
well,
I get it. Math is universal.
C squared.
Yeah, again, you lost me. Bruce said, but Red Dog, the experts are strangers, and my parents told me not to trust strangers. Bruce, we all know your parents don't talk to you. Perfect Cell says, have you guys covered what would happen if a white and black hole collided? I'll watch a podcast, but I would like to know if you have covered it. Well...
We did discuss colliding black holes, I think.
Yes, we talked about collision. About them merging together because of me being so excited about the idea that perhaps, like I had wanted on Haldar, was for another hole to be created so that there could be two holes to make a bigger hole. And we've talked about black holes. Yeah, we'll talk about them again sometime. But again, please check out the previous episodes we did of black holes and space holes. We really did get into the holes. Brad especially got into the holes. And so did the chat. He set me up. Okay. Red Dog says Venus is a horrific place, possibly the worst environment in the solar system besides the sun. Venus is toxic. Yeah, Earth is pretty bad.
Earth is arguably the worst place in the solar system. I've been there.
You've been there. You've been there. Old Virgin said, if we find alien life, maths will be the first language we use to communicate. Yes, that's probably true, Old Virgin. Because like
weapons. Math or weapons.
Math or weapons. Not wrong. Oh, this one's already done. Okay. I haven't been paying attention. We've clearly. Bruce says, they did not specifically mention a white and black hole colliding, but they did talk about the same black holes colliding. But we did discuss white holes because I was like, well, if there's black holes in like I'm pretty sure we did go over it at some point, and we all talked about the event horizon and what's on the other side and all that stuff. And
There's a lot
Brad,
of
yeah,
singularity stuff.
yeah, we talked about singularity stuff. Yes, but now we're going to talk about the solar system, right?
One planet at a time.
You know what? This says Earth is the only known planet with life in liquid water, but there is water on other planets. So we discussed
How do you
white
know
and black
that?
holes, but not them colliding into one another. Bruce, I see what you're doing there. As if you listened to the whole thing, Bruce. Stop
We
trying to pretend like
apologize, Internet. We have not discussed every single hypothetical scientific scenario related to astronomy.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So there's potential for infinite episodes out there. Stay
Exactly. If we
tuned.
can
One
make
day we
it.
might talk about exactly what you're thinking about. Maybe
Yeah.
one day.
But maybe we already have. You'll have to go through all
Better
12
watch them all again.
episodes. You'll have to, yeah, just put them on while you're like falling asleep to hear me struggle as I try to like come up
Not
with
flying to
things
the
to
sun
say.
or kill Illuminate.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect Self says Earth is not the best planet for life. There you go. I wonder what is the best planet for life. What do you think? There's water on Mars, says Red Dog. Yeah, I don't think that's the only one that we've thought that there might be water on or seen. You know, I mean, if there's ice around certain planets,
Like proof and conjecture are different, but yeah, there's ice on Mars, and there's ice other places.
Yeah.
There's other forms of ice elsewhere in the solar system, like ammonia ice and methane ice. And it's. I don't remember if we. Oh yeah, no, we have detected water in atmospheres of exoplanets, so we've seen evidence of water elsewhere in the galaxy, in the universe. It's still not like super concrete proof. Like we haven't proved it. I guess we've detected it.
Detection is the start. We have ice comets too, says Red Dog. Ice comets sound like ice cream. We have ice comets. What are ice comets? Tell me. Where we get chunks of ice from the sky, from outer space?
I mean, yeah, there are ice comets because there's comets made of rocks, some ice, but it's like the ice would melt if it was flying close to Earth. It'd just be rocks that landed.
Oh, that's disappointing.
You would get ice from space. You could just
And they don't splat when they get to the ground. That'd be funny though.
Your ice cream does, but ice comets don't.
Oh, there you go. So, anything to say about Earth besides how we've ruined it? Ooh, Perfect Cell says Earth is extremely hostile to life all the time. There would have to be some perfect star system where a planet was in perfect orbit, had a perfect atmosphere, be at the perfect distance from the star. Huh, interesting,
Earth.
Perfect Cell. And yet we're still here.
We
Perfect
evolved
Cell.
on Earth, so that's already happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect,
There's
but
plenty
it's
of places-
home.
Well, there's plenty of places that are hostile to life, but there's still life there, like a stromophilic life at the bottom of the ocean near like volcanic vents and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way there'd be life there because there's no sunlight and it's under huge amounts of atmospheric pressure under the water and it's 400 degrees and it's just sulfur all over the place. But there's life there.
Yeah.
So we think that there's life all over the place on what we perceive as hostile environments, but it's still not inhospitable
Just
to
a
life.
different type of...
It's
just a
inhospitable to
different type-
humans.
Yeah. Which is probably for the best, because we just ruined it anyway.
But it's like you can take any, like whether it's a plant or an animal on one part of the Earth and move it to a different ecosystem and it'll die. Because it's not where it evolved to exist.
Unless we trap it in a zoo, which is horrific. That would create false environments for it. But yeah. Old Virgin said water is one of the strangest substances we know about. You know what, Old Virgin, now that you say that, like, it is kind of, isn't it? Because, I mean, we have it... Oh, I know. I don't remember what it's called, but when I was doing my research, there is some place with more water than all of Earth in our solar system. I just don't know where it is, what it's called. It's like a random thing I read. I should have noted it down. But there's some place in our solar system that has more water on it than there's all the water that we have on Earth. I don't know where. I hope I find the fact. If somebody knows
Saturn's
what I'm talking
rings,
about.
probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
If I had to guess.
I don't know.
There's a
I don't
whole Earth
remember.
well, look that up then.
I'll have to look it up later. I'm scooping. I can't. I'm scooping. Sounds like I'm pooping. I'm scooping. I can't. I'm scooping. Perfect Cell says, you get what I'm saying? Everything would have to be theoretically perfect. Yeah, I get what you said. Red Dog says, AKA Earth. We have Earth lovers in here. Red Dog, you're going to be known as an Earth lover. Old Virgin says, if you're dropped at a random point on Earth, it is very unlikely you would survive. See? Kind of backing Brad up there, Old Virgin is. Perfect Cell says, it's a moon, right? What I'm saying, I don't remember. One of Jupiter's or Saturn's moons, I'm pretty sure. You might be right, Perfect Cell. It might be a moon. I think it might be a moon. I don't remember, but I know that I read it today. I should have looked longer. I should have noted it because it was fascinating to me. Something that had more water than, like I said, than all of Earth. Red Dog says, we also have a massive cloud of alcohol in our galaxy. Well, no wonder we have issues over here. Both ethanol and methanol. Fun times. Well, Red Dog, don't go into space.
We're
Stay
going
away.
to space. It's party time.
No, not for some of us. Although,
Well, grow the
is
fuck
my
up so you can
dad
drink and go to
is
space.
my dad out there in that massive cloud of alcohol, drinking it all up?
No.
That's a sad thought. Like, my dad escapes his mortal coil, dies of alcoholism, ends up in space in a cloud of ethanol and methanol. I mean, that's kind of... I don't know how I feel about that.
But it's not corporeal alcohol, so no.
It's the clinking. I don't know. I feel really weird about that now. I don't like that fact. Oh, no. Old Virgin says Europa is thought to have more water than Earth. There you go. Europa. Okay. Perfect Cell says Jupiter's moons, Ganymede and Europa, have more water than Earth. Thank you for looking at that. Jupiter's moons. And boy, does Jupiter have a lot of moons. Boy, I just did the hand gesture. I'm like, it's got the biggest moons. The moons are the greatest moons. So much water. We should get the water, bring the water to Earth.
You stop.
Oh, we got so much more water. We just take the water. Then we have no water problem.
You can stop now.
Why? Did I remind you of something? Did I?
Cringe.
Cringe? Okay, I'll just drink some more of my cafefe. Remember the days of cafefe? It was so much simpler back then. Okay. I can handle just one massive cloud, says Red Dog. Just kidding. Yeah, don't be tempted by outer space there. You've come so far, you know? Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine? I don't think that's really fair. But that makes sense. Like, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be out there? You know, why wouldn't that stuff be out there? Perfect Cell says, I don't think space water is the same as Earth water. It would end badly for Earth. Well, you could be right.
Water's a molecule, so it's...
Couldn't we filter it? Space filter it? I bet you we would. If it's water, it's water. Oof. Speaking of water, I found a water.
If it was made of something else, it wouldn't be called water.
Exactly. But there are things in our water. I mean, you can't even travel as a tourist to different places, and you have to be careful. You should drink bottled water because of your gut isn't used to the various things in the water.
You're talking about pollutants on Earth, not
just pollutants, germs and shit in there, and different bugs and stuff that we aren't accustomed to in our stomach biome. Like when I went to Italy,
So what are you talking about?
When you travel on Earth to a different area, when you travel, because you could end up with the shits. Because we're talking about water on different planets. We went on a thing. Europa's water is most likely very different than our water, says Perfect Cell. Agreed. Red Dog says, did you know Saturn would float on water? Its density is crazy light. By far the least dense of all the planets. See? We're staying on topic.
Facts.
Chill out, Brad.
Totally.
Got it? We're in solar
Like
system
in
still.
an ADD kind of way. Yes, we are.
Yeah, well, just gonna have to. We're an ADD
So which
channel.
planet are we on? So which planet are we on now? We don't know.
He's already bored. We were on Earth, but we don't really have a lot to say about Earth now, do we? So we could go to Mars. It's got the largest volcano and canyon. And it's the one that everybody wants to, settle, as we talked about in a previous episode. Remember that? Tell me some stuff about Mars. Talk to me about Mars. Let's talk about how shitty Venus is. We already did that. We're done
Yeah, it's kind of
trashing
glazed over.
movies. Yeah, we're done.
Suffer, rain, hellhole, too hot.
Like women. There you go. So let's go on to.
I mean, I feel like that's some significant reaching there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, So what are we doing then? About Mars. Well,
What are we
dang.
doing?
Yeah. What are you saying about Mars?
Most likely, next planet to be colonized.
Hmm.
Just because it's closer.
Which was your favorite planet when you were studying planets as a kid?
Saturn.
Tell us why.
Probably the ring system.
You can skate on them, apparently, right? They're so cold you could skate on. Is that wrong or true?
Well, I think part of like skating, it has to be like a kind of solid surface too.
Oh, okay.
If
Well,
it's a whole bunch of frozen stuff floating around in space, it's hard to skate on it because it's a whole bunch of
I'm
tiny
just
pieces.
saying,
floating around in
it's
space.
ice though, right? So,
In a Hallmark way, yeah, sure, you can skate on Saturn's rings. Science says maybe not as likely.
Perfect Cell says, doesn't Mars have continental plates? It has mountains and giant valleys. Yeah, and volcanoes and canyons. Perfect Cell says, also Mars has proof of running water at one point. Indeed it does. And
Yep.
Perfect Cell says, so it could be possible it used to have life on it. Yeah. Or maybe it still has life on it somewhere. We don't know yet.
They're looking.
Red Dog says, okay, Mars is a cold dust planet, huge amounts of ice, would need to be terraformed. People could survive there with enough science and math. True. True, Red Dog. That seems to be the consensus. I think Mars is the one that surprised me, is that it's a lot colder than I thought it would be. Because it's always portrayed as this red planet. I don't know why I equated it with hot, because red is hot. And I don't know, but it turns out it's like a really cold planet compared especially to us. Well, Virgin says Mars is named after the Roman god of Mars. It doesn't have enough mass to hold an atmosphere. Yeah, we'd have to create an
the candy
atmosphere.
bar. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we'd have to. It's a red
It'd
hot.
be interesting
Red
if Mars and Venus's atmospheres were swapped.
Tell me
Because
why.
because Venus is closer to the sun, so it's already warmer than Earth, and it has like the greenhouse effect runaway, which makes it even hotter, which doesn't help its surface temperature as far as survivability for us concerned. And Mars is the opposite; it's further from the sun, so it's colder, and it has a thin atmosphere, which makes it even colder.
So
So
swap.
Mars almost wants a greenhouse effect to warm it up, so it would be easier to habitat.
Is that where the woman and men connection comes in? Because like men are furnace and we'd spot. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out where they came up with that. It's a red hoth. What's a red hoth, Red Dog? What's a red
He's talking
hoth?
about like Star Wars Hoth.
Oh, okay.
Hoth is the ice planet in Empire.
Okay. Oh, geeking out. That's
But
great.
but there's no snow there, so it's just cold because it's
Oh, okay.
it's like the
Gotcha.
desert at night gets really cold.
Okay. Oh,
So
a red
desert-
hoth, like the planet that Harrison Ford went and saved Luke from, went outside and saved him. Oh my God, Harrison Ford was so hot in that film. Okay. We could detonate a bunch of thermonuclear bombs on the poles, according to Elon, to terraform it the fastest. As Perfect Cell. What do you think of that, Brad?
Maybe.
Okay. Mars is cold all around, I'm pretty sure, Perfect Cell says. Red Duck says the hottest Mars gets is 20 degrees C or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Bruce says, then I was completely wrong. About what, Bruce? Oh, because Bruce said way back, I mean, Mars is like a desert. It's not hot during the day, cold during the night. No, you're wrong. You were wrong, Bruce. It's a cold...
I think it's kind of cold all the time.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
The atmosphere is too thin to retain heat.
Yeah, can't retain heat. I said, like as if I'm known. Old Virgin says, swapping Mars and Venus would probably upset our orbit, causing extreme weather here. Yeah, I think Brad was just, like, postulating.
With the planets, just the atmospheric effects on one would help the other.
Yeah, he's just, like... He isn't really that...
We're not doing, like, wife swap planet.
I did think of that, wife swap. The atmosphere from one planet goes and visits the other planet. And it's like, oh, you look like this. And, like, the atmospheres then get back to their own planets. Are like, I missed you so much. That was hell over there. I wonder if any of those wife swap people actually, like, got along. They didn't play it on TV, and then afterward, like, went to the person that they swapped with. I'm just saying. Okay. Elon's an idiot, says Red Dog. Bombs won't cut it, and they would just irradiate the ice. Silly idea. Yeah, thank you for helping me with that word. Yeah. Oh shit! I fell out of the guys. Look,
let's just nuke it.
Let's just nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Perfect Cell says, how would we terraform it in that case? We would have to thicken its atmosphere somehow, though. Just look to the Aliens movies. We'll do something like a thermonuclear reactor and terraform, get workers out there, terraforming planets. There's
a Kurzgesagt video about that.
Oh, what Mars. Video? Oh.
That channel that I posted about black hole collisions and stuff. Kurzgesagt in a nutshell, I think. It's the cartoon one with the birds in it.
Yeah.
But it's real facts. Or at least, like, hypothetical science.
There you go. If you want to share it in the chat, you could. You know, in the Discord, you could. If you want to share anything. I think they were talking about
shooting lasers at the surface, but it was, you know, hey, just fire lasers at it for, like, decades or centuries to basically melt it, and that would release a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
Remember, you can always share some of that stuff, Brad, in the Let's Discuss podcast.
Wait, what's that? We have a Discord?
Yeah, we have a Discord, everyone.
Yeah, if only there was a way for me to post stuff in the Discord.
Yeah, if he does, like he did that last episode, he shared some helpful things in the Discord, which is pretty helpful under the Let's Discuss. I'll share that link right now. Because nobody else around here is doing nothing. I'm just kidding. I'll do it. I'll share it. But yeah,
scanning.
Because I did that, though, now I can't see my chat. I'm sorry, guys. I can't see you guys now. Go back. Go back.
Super chat obstructed.
It is obstructed. It's fine, though. I mean, it's not like... But there is a Let's Discuss podcast part. Here, we'll get this copied. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I gotta wait now. I'm sorry. My computer wants to die. I'm not letting it. I won't let it go. Okay, so we're just gonna pretend like you guys aren't talking. And any chances of terraforming, I gotta catch up to it. But meanwhile, back to the planets. Where were we at? Oh, I see you guys again. Okay. Ooh, I gotta catch up. There's some good stuff said. I'll catch up. Give me a second. I gotta wait till it loads. And I'm fuel scooping.
Are you getting that video, or do you want me to get it?
You gotta get it. I ain't doing shit. Because my Discord, my computer is like it's hard enough for me to go. Discord. Once you join, you've signed your life away. No, there you go. There's the Discord link. He's got a Let's Discuss part. You guys can post in the space photos and all that, but not that.
Mars with lasers. There you go.
Okay, so so we could detonate a bunch of thermonuclear bombs. Okay, we already did that. Mars is cold around. We did that. And then I was completely wrong. Bruce will repeat that. We did that. Elon's got it. Okay, here we go. How will we terraform it in that case? We would have to thicken its atmosphere somehow, though. That's where Brad's going to share a video in the Let's Discuss podcast section of the Discord.
Yep.
It's just helpful because he, for some reason, never wants to go to my channel. and share things in the chat. So whatever, dude. No, but it actually works out to be a helpful spot for us to share that stuff. Red Dog says, oh, I like what Bruce says here. I trust any plan that has to do with blowing up planets with nukes. There you go. Thanks, Bruce. Red Dog says, terraforming is a slow process. We would have to drill to the liquid water. There are lots of papers on this. Yeah, unless we built, like if we were like Weyland-Yutani and we built reactors and then we built our own atmosphere, and it would take like a long time, and terraformers. And we talked about stuff like that when we were talking about space debris, in fact, when we were like, who would clean up the space debris? Probably corporations when they decided to build like luxury things there out in space. And then, but what would happen first? They'd have to terraform, then if that, or whatever, or build things. And if they did that, how would the atmospheres? And then they'd have to build, I think some sci-fi isn't that far off for some ideas, especially if they involve using worker people to anyway.
It's called science fiction because it's based on known science.
Yeah, and it just makes sense. I could see us terraforming atmospheres when we figure it out. But right now it seems an impossibility just because of the fact that it's not something to do with, we do not have the power capability. We do not have that kind of fusion reactor. Is it a fusion reactor or something that we need? There's something like that would operate on...
We need way more energy, yes.
Yeah. So we need something like that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Aliens fan, but it's like scientifically, it's like a probable thing that makes sense.
Hurry up, Discord, you're embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Don't worry, they're not looking at Discord anyway.
Are you opening Discord? Oh, it's probably updates then, even though you opened it 2 days ago.
2 days is a long time. It's in internet time.
How is it changing?
There are oceans under the surface, plenty enough to change the atmosphere. I agree, and that again of let's say Mars. But the thing is that we would still need a way to do that, and that would take energy, is my opinion. But I don't know shit about that. But I'm guessing that we would need like equipment on there. Perixel says also swapping Mars and Venus's atmospheres would be awful for Mars, acid rain, and not to mention we had acid rain here on Earth before, and not to mention Mars is smaller than Venus, so it would be a lot denser than it already is, which would pretty much just fuck up that planet completely and any chances of terraforming life on Mars. Holy crap. Okay, I'm catching up. Old Virgin says Elon's
hung up on that one thing.
Old Virgin says Elon's plan may work by melting the ice, creating an atmosphere, but you'd have to keep replenishing it because of its small mass. Exactly, Old Virgin. Red Dog says Elon's plan won't work. Bonds won't melt ice. It'll just spread it out. You would need volcanic activity to melt it. You would need atmosphere. Bombs, she meant, not bonds. I was like, what are bonds? Red Dog said, here's the main problem with nukes. They are way too small. We are talking about planets. There just isn't enough energy in them to melt a polar ice cap. Agreed. Anyway, so where are we now, then? We were at Earth. We hardly touched Earth. Why? Isn't there anything interesting about Earth? It was created 2,000 years ago. Anything else about it?
Do you have any, real facts?
Well, that's why I'm asking you. We just need Weyland-Yutani. Exactly, Perfect Cell. But where will we get some evil, profitable corporations that want to take over space? And find things to, However will we get to that point? Tesla. Right, Perfect Cell? Okay. Yeah, I know. Tesla says Perfect Cell, which means, actually, Perfect Cell, Brad talked about Tesla and the vehicles being conditioned for Mars and stuff like that in a previous episode. So you guys will, if you do go back in older episodes, you are going to hear Brad discuss some of that. He was the one who talked about that.
It's just curious that a lot of the technologies were kind of perfectly suited for colonizing a planet with a thin atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. And they look absolutely stupid on Earth. Exactly. The U.S. has plenty. We can spare a few, says Red Dog. Yeah. Yeah, we can spare a few corporations. operations. But where were we going next? So we're done with Earth. We don't give a shit about Earth. Doesn't anybody have any questions about Earth?
I mean, you're already on Mars, so yeah, we left Earth behind.
Oh yeah, fuck Earth. Okay, so Jupiter, largest planet.
Whoa.
Why do you want to stay on Mars?
No, like you're missing the. What's in between Mars and Jupiter?
Nothing. It's Mars
Well,
and
open up
Jupiter.
the chat. Open up the chat. The chat knows. Chat,
My
help us out. How about
educated mother just served us nachos. Mars and
Yeah,
Jupiter.
that's planets. That's planets. You think all there is out in space is planets? What's wrong
I
with
thought
you?
we were discussing planets for when we're all
We're discussing the
stuff.
solar system.
Well, then you tell us. Asteroid belt.
Nope.
Asteroid belt says perfect cell.
Thank you, chat.
There you go. You made Brad happy. Perfect cell says
Asteroid belt.
fun fact: Earth is 4.54 billion years old. Perfect cell, that is false news. I mean, we all know it started when baby Jesus was born, and that was 2,000 years ago. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Merca. Anyway, you're right. You're right. Perfect cell says asteroid
So we get
belt.
the dunce caps for series.
Perfect cell
And
says.
funnily enough, the asteroid.
It's good to see you.
The asteroid belt has a minor planet in it called Ceres, not Ceres.
Oh, so close. So close. What if it was called Oh No Ceres? Would that be coincidental? What if somebody names a dead star after me someday? Oh. Anyway. Okay, that's nice. So asteroid belt, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to read what Old Virgin said. He says, depends how many nukes you use. You need to, so many, Mars will be completely irradiated and therefore uninhabitable. So even if it works, it'd be pointless. Anklo says big rocks. Anklo, I don't wait. Oh, he's talking about the asteroid belt. Thank you, Anklo. Bringing us to current times, we're talking about the perfect cells asteroid belt, which sounds like weird. And I said it like that. Perfect Cell says Ceres, Ceres, the diamond, of course it's diamond, dwarf planet. Hey, dwarf planet, I'm short, yeah. Dwarf planet, right? And Red Duck says, fun fact, there are only about 15k nukes on Earth currently. We're done with the nukes. We're moving on to Ceres and the asteroid belt. And good to see you, Anklo. Bruce, Anklo's here. Just saying Anklo's here. Bruce and Anklo say hi. No? Okay, go on. Let's go on. We're going on. Tell me,
Okay.
they didn't say hi. I'm trying to get them to become BFFs. I don't know. It's not working out so far. Okay, so.
Bitter foes forever. Wait.
No, I just. They both seem like nice boys, you know? Like, they'll use friendship to go through stuff. Bruce is mean, says Perfect Cell. You don't even know Bruce. Is he mean? Oh, you know what? Bruce is a little, yeah, you're right. Anyway, moving on. Asteroid belt. Please tell me more about this asteroid belt that we wanted to
Almost forgot about.
access. We've talked about it before. Look, I was focused on the planets because we didn't stop for. Yeah. He is funny, says Anklo. Oh, see, Anklo thinks Bruce is funny. See, it's the start of a friendship. I'm so happy. See, he said a compliment. Anyway, Red Dog says we need to learn how to mine the asteroid belt. The problem is how far away it is. That belt is if where distances where distances really start to get huge. The belt is where
really far away.
Distances really start to get huge. Yeah, I'm like, that belt is huge. Can I just... The distance from the belt... Look, are you calling... Okay, the distance between the belt and here? Or the distance of the belt? Is it the length of the belt? Is it a thick belt? Sorry.
Not really.
What kind of belt is it? It's a space debris, though. It's like the worst kind of space debris. Because it's all debris, right? The belt?
I mean, it's not the worst kind because it's not. We didn't do it.
We didn't do it. Okay, but it's like an example for us to aspire to, right?
No.
Oh, okay. That was so good. So tell us about the asteroid belt, mister. I'm here.
Well, I mean, Bruce is on to something with the whole getting out there to mine stuff.
Perfect Cell said, Sirius, what are you talking about? Is it a thick belt? I'm kind of lost.
I think she was reaching again. She does that.
I like spankings.
Often.
Yeah. He's like, stop. I like spankings. Anklo says it protects us, kinda. So Anklo's saying the asteroid belt protects us. Why? Does it get the asteroids that come toward us and, like, it ends up catching them like a baseball mitt?
Jupiter does that. Jupiter's gravity deflects a lot of things. Because it's massive.
Shout out to Jupiter.
It's like 800 times the size of Earth.
Well, what we got...
Well, the asteroid belt is a huge mineral resource that we know... There's lots of... like, there's things we need there. The hard part, like it was mentioned, is like actually getting there to mine it. Once we figure out how to get like industrial ships and people living out there, it'll be easy to harvest it, but then the other hard part would be like getting it to where we want to use it for stuff. But we figured that out on Earth. We figured out how to mine things that are far away from civilizations at the time. We built giant machines to tear open the Earth and get stuff that we wanted out, and how to process it and how to get it to factories where we can turn it into stuff that we want. So I feel like we'll do that in the future. It's just a matter of time and technology.
There you go. As for what Anklo said, it said it protects us, kind of, and Red Dog says it definitely protects us, and he said so does Jupiter and the moon. The moon protects us, huh? That's nice. He's like all for that one moon. Perfect Cell says the red spot on Jupiter can fit multiple Earths inside of it. That's good to know. See, Perfect Cell? Look at people with their smart solar system stuff. Look at you smarty pants in the chat. Old Virgin said, as far as the asteroid belt goes, he said, or she said, you know, could be a she, it's left over from the protoplanetary disk. It's there because no planet formed in that area.
Or one did, and it got obliterated.
Ooh.
Plot twist!
Red Dog said what Old Virgin says. There you go. There you go. Oh, damn, you know what? I can't help myself. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be the first one to do it myself. I can't really afford this. I'm going to do it anyway, just because somebody was kind yesterday, and because I'm curious. I'm going to do it. Can I do it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm just doing it because I did it. It's the only time I'll do it, guys, for now. I'd rather keep that for the membership chat live streams, but I just gifted 5, so I'm just calling some people out, I guess. Don't let me do that. I just gifted some memberships. And welcome, Perfect Cell, Buddy Bud, Jordan, Megan, and one deleted by Red Dog. Oh, ouch. That was Snowpiercer. I saw it. Red Dog, you deleted somebody. Why? Because they were on the down low? Did they message you on the down low and say, hey? I don't think you meant to do that, did you? Welcome, though. Welcome, everybody who was, you're welcome. I got gifted yesterday. Yeah, you did. You deleted one of the gifted memberships, Red Dog. It's fine. I saw who it was. They're still a member. Don't worry about it. I can't really do that. It's okay, Red Dog. I guess you don't like them. I mean, way to go, Red Dog. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I do wonder if I do that if I'm calling out somebody that doesn't want to be called out. I don't pick who it is. It does it randomly, so don't thank me. It's just Stingaman really, they did that earlier today. You were trying to spam emojis and you accidentally deleted a super chat gift. Red Dog. Anklo, yeah, you didn't get picked. Somebody else would have to do it for it to happen. Sorry about that, Brad. I just had to do it. I wanted to see if I could do it, number one. Yes, I could do it. So, there you go.
Just do it.
I wanted to see if it was possible. And it looks like it is possible. Now, I can never do it again because then for now I can't afford it. But You know, that's thanks to Stinger Man. So we were just passing it on. There you go. And now I can add more emojis later. So where were we? This asteroid belt. Poor Snow. I don't know whether to say poor Snowpiercer or congrats Snowpiercer. You can be on the download. Nobody need to know. You know what I mean? I feel a little self-conscious myself, knowing that can happen. That anybody just lurking can suddenly be. I just wanted to say thank you again, guys, for having gotten the channel to 500, and Brad for being on here. It's because of you guys that I have a chance to like maybe make this be something more than just my addiction to gaming. So thank you. And yeah, of course, if you don't want to stay a member, I did no obligation to stay a member. Just enjoy the emojis and the ability. And if you're in the Discord, it just automatically gives you a red color. Okay, Jupiter's ring system is kind of small, says Perfect Cell. I don't think it's even visible to the naked eye. The one that's all ice? Really? And you're welcome, Jordan. Is that true?
Jupiter's is a lot smaller than Saturn's is, like, relatively.
They both have rings?
Yeah.
Are they seeing each other? I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay. So I want to know more about the asteroid belt. Now, why did you want to make a big deal of it and stop me from proceeding to the next planet?
Because you glazed over it.
I did, but didn't we glaze over like multiple moons and other things in between planets? There's things in between.
Up until there, there's only 3 moons, and one of them is our moon, which we talked about. So if you want to talk about Phobos and Deimos, we can.
About what?
Phobos and Deimos are the moons of Mars.
Oh, well, can you?
And they're kind of just like
boring.
There's maybe that's not the right word, but it's I don't know I don't know if there's a lot to talk about. One of them is really close to Mars, like it orbits really close to the ground, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's been fiction that talks about basically connecting them with like a space elevator. So you physically attach. I forget which moon is closer though. I think it's Phobos. I don't remember.
The chat said Jupiter's ring system is kind of small. I don't think. Okay, how did Sirius lose a subscriber? I think it stayed at the same, Bruce, but it wavers. It goes up and down. It's fine. I appreciate anybody subscribing. I know that about just over 50% of the viewers that keep returning are subscribed. That means about almost half of the people that keep coming back aren't subscribed, and that's okay. That's cool. I appreciate that they even watch, that they even tune in. So thank you guys. It wasn't just the subscriber count that got me to monetize. It was the watch time. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
It was the kill count. Wait.
Yeah, the kill count, exactly. Phobos and... Okay, Perfect Cell says Phobos and Deimos are so small, though, kind of lame compared to other moons. There you go.
Yeah.
Moon chat.
But Phobos orbits in, like, less than 8 hours. So if you were on the surface of Mars near, like, where the moon orbits, you'd be looking up and it'd be, like, whizzing past several times a day.
Oh. That'd be
Which
weird.
would be kind of different. Yep.
Bruce says, pretty sure Phobos is closer than Deimos because you usually say Phobos before Deimos when talking about the two. You guys are nerds. Red Dog says, here's the crazy part of the asteroid belt. It's not dense at all. The asteroids may be in the millions, but they are spread out across huge distances. It's nothing like Star Wars, says Red Dog. Huh.
True.
Okay. That's
Probably
kind of
in... I have no idea how many objects would be there. Could be like billions or trillions of little tiny rocks floating around.
Yeah. Huh.
And yeah, the Star Wars comment is probably true, because if they were... Like, they're all... When the Millennium Falcon's, like, flying through that, trying not to get crushed, they're smashing into each other almost constantly. And if it was out there in space doing that all the time, it would like, knock itself into, like, a diffuse... It would just float away.
I have a question about the asteroid belt. I know I sound stupid, I don't know this stuff. Is the asteroid belt like space debris in orbit, or is it just like there? Like in a expanse of space?
No, it's a giant ring that orbits the sun.
The asteroid belt?
Yeah. That's why it's called the belt, because it makes a big circle around the sun.
And around all the planets at the same time?
No.
Okay, then tell me more. Visuals. I need visuals.
Okay, so there's the sun in the middle, and orbiting the sun is Mercury, going in a little circle. Mm-hmm. And then further out is Venus, going in a circle around the sun. And then further out is Earth, going around the sun in a circle. And then further out is Mars, going around the sun in a circle. And then there's the asteroid belt, which is like sprinkling of rocks in a giant circle.
A lot of circles.
In between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter.
And gravity is what makes the asteroid belt not get any closer to any of the planets or anything like that? It's just staying in its orbit?
It's not really close enough to... Well, all the other planets, like, as the solar system evolved, all the planets kind of settled in their places because if they were continually being, like... They're obviously, like, the gravity's obviously pulling on each other. Like I said, the sun influences our tides just like the moon does, even though the sun's really far away.
Yeah, the sun really does affect our tides, guys. You gotta look into that.
But like, all the planets basically pull at each other, but they've maintained an equilibrium, because if they were still doing that, then our orbits wouldn't be the way they are. Okay. So the asteroid belt kind of did that too. It's settled in that place, because that's like if it was any closer, then, you know, Martian and Earth gravity would be disturbing it, and if it was further away, then Jupiter's gravity would be disturbing it to the point where it would just disintegrate.
I wonder how it decided. I wonder how these things decided, okay, I'm fine here in this place. I'm not going to move even to the left to destroy anything.
It's not a decision, it's a determination by science.
Okay, so what science is determining that? Gravity?
Yeah.
God damn, gravity keeps coming up, and it's like pretty fucking important. What
it's
do
a fundamental force.
Gravity? We should be talking about gravity in an episode, because like it keeps coming up, and I want to know more about gravity. I know it sounds basic, but one time we got to get down with gravity, because it's
not really basic though, because we haven't figured it out.
Exactly, and I'd love to imagine. Like, okay, so I got to catch up. Perfect Cell says, if the asteroid belt was as dense as Star Wars makes its asteroid belts, then it would just form new planets eventually. That actually makes sense. Old Virgin says, when sending probes to the outer planets, it's actually quite difficult to find an object to visit as the probe passes. Yeah. And Perfect Cell's continuing with kind of like the proto-disc, continuing their sentence. Red Dog says, yes, it orbits the sun, referring to the asteroid belt. Oh my god, it's a white star. Sun. Yes, it orbits the sun. It's between Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter's gravity had a lot to do with its formation. Red Dog also says Jupiter's gravity helps keep the asteroids from drifting towards the sun. This sun could kill me. It's white, right? The white sun is bad? Is that true? This white sun that I'm fuel scooping? What? On Elite Dangerous.
This white sun is bad.
The white sun is bad, right?
I mean, don't fly into it.
Well, I almost did.
That's what you mean.
Okay.
I mean, no matter what the sun is, like, you don't want to fly into it, just, like, it'll kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to look back at it and go, goodbye.
But, like, the F and the A-class stars are way hotter, so you get killed easier?
Okay. I was just, like, wondering, because it was very, very white when I got in there. Jordan? Is it Jordan? I don't want to get it wrong. Etherson is easier to say, but he goes, I love astronomy. I work at a planetarium, and I'm studying math and astronomy in college. Well, nice. Get into the conversation, please. I know we're talking about just the solar system this week, but which seems basics, but I'm, I don't know anything since I was young. And I wanted to take it back from war and space back to, like, just let's talk about the solar system. So much to do with it. I'd love anything you want to share on any of these topics. And that's right. If you guys are going back through the old episodes, some of you just found this, and you want to comment on the, I'm not doing this to get the comments. I'm saying if you want to remark or dispute, especially dispute anything Brad says, I'd love that. If you want to offer your own 2 cents about the black holes or whatever, anything we've talked about in previous episodes, please do that, and I will see those comments, and I will save them, and then I will read them to Brad and go, hey, Brad, how about this? So-and-so said this. And then Brad can
You want to have an actually episode?
Yes, an actually episode. Yeah, actually, it'll be an actually
My dad
segment.
says stars aren't real?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, so if you want to comment on any of these episodes, even this one after it's done, just tell Brad what's what, and I will, if you're shy, if you're one of the shy lurker viewers, and you think, oh, what I say is going to be stupid. No, it's not. I say the stupidest things, clearly. So if you want to do that, you can do that, and we will talk about, we will remark on those in the next episode, okay? White suns are massive, says Perfect Cell. I'm pretty sure they're the largest stars, either that or blue giants. Which are bigger, Brad? White suns or blue giants?
Blue giants are bigger.
Why?
Oh, sorry. Blue giants are more massive as in weight, but red supergiants are the biggest.
But what about white stars? How do they compare to blue giants?
White stars are bigger than the sun, but smaller than blue ones.
He sounds unsure. You could check. I'm just saying. That sounded uncertain. Are you typing?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a rabbit hole to go down.
Oh.
And we're not even done with planets yet.
Okay, what was the rabbit hole?
Save for the stars episode.
We're going to have a stars episode?
Well, yeah, you got to talk about stars.
I got to write a poem. I promise I won't use ChatGPT about dead stars.
A totally different mnemonic about how to remember star types. The Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. There's a whole bunch of shit to talk about.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, can you note that where it needs to be noted that we're going to talk about stars?
Main sequence.
Don't get me so excited about it. Okay, so going back to
Are you a main sequence or a hypergiant?
I don't know. Let's find out. I don't think Okay, Bruce says, I don't think flying into a ball of fire in space is a good idea, series. Says you.
You've never seen her fly into a ball of fire in space before.
Yeah.
It's actually fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I used to do it a lot. That's why my ship used to be called Icarus.
Until it got burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, it happens though. I survived. Jordan, can you tell me if it's whether Jordan or Jordan? I'll call you Ethers until you correct me, but I don't want to do that. The solar system is super interesting. Brad seems pretty much entirely correct. Pretty much entirely isn't bad, Brad.
I'll take pretty much entirely. Yes.
For a guy who's working at a planetarium, like literally in astronomy, I'm guessing he knows his stuff. So we appreciate you being here. And please feel free to correct Brad whenever you want, though, because I dig that. I'm just kidding. I knew Brad was smarter. Also,
correct anybody.
Yeah,
that's how we learn.
Yeah, that's how we learn. We're here for learning. Bruce says, whatever Brad says is gospel, unless if we ask his opinion on AI. Don't get him started about ChatGPT.
That's fair.
Old Virgin says, Jupiter Lagrange points have loads of asteroids. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Just yep? That's all you're giving me?
Well, you asked if you're pronouncing Lagrange points correctly.
Okay, but what about that? What about what Old Virgin said? What about that?
I mean, Earth has Lagrange points for this asteroids.
What are Lagrange points? Please tell me.
So the Lagrange points are, I think they're called nodes in a gravitational system where, like the Earth, the Moon is rotating the Earth, and it creates stable areas of gravitation where things can basically settle.
Okay.
If you can liken it to like a current in a river or a stream going around islands and things like that, there's going to be areas where, because of the shape of the river and the shape of the island, the current is kind of not very strong, and dust will settle there, for example, or particulate and sand and things like that. Not dust, sand. But in space, asteroids and like
Use my first emoji.
Small bits and stuff will settle in these Lagrange points because there's no strong gravitational force to pull them out of it.
What does Lagrange mean? What's the word?
I think it's named after an astronomer or a scientist. That's spoiler alert. Almost everything in science is named after the guy that's like, you know what? I think this is a good idea. Like Messier objects is named after Charles Messier, for example.
Jordan, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name again. You could phonetically maybe spell it for me so I can get you right. The sun is a white star, at least in real life. I don't know how they're classified in this game. I think in Elite Dangerous... Well, I don't know in the star... We have different stars in this game.
But they're realistically like classified.
Yeah, in Elite Dangerous they are, yeah.
So, spectral class G is typically like yellowy white.
I'm acting like I just do the maps.
Fun fact: when you're buying light bulbs, the color temperature of a light bulb, because it's light, is the same as stars.
Ooh.
So the color temperature of a light bulb, for example, you can get daylight, which is like.
Too bright.
It's like 4,000 Kelvin.
It burns.
Or like 4,500. A star of that color will be that temperature.
Oh, I did not know this.
And the more like yellowy lights, like in kind of like old style lamps and stuff like that, is like a warm white. I think they're called in the industry.
Yeah.
Is kind of similar to the sun, where it's a yellowy kind of white, and it's about 3,000 or 4,000 degrees. And if you could get like reddish lamps, they would be closer to 3,000 or cooler than that. And white and blue stars are like 5,000 or 6,000 Kelvin.
See?
But it's literally the same science.
Really? I never
Talking
knew
about
anything
light bulbs
about
and
that.
stars, because it's how light and heat operate.
I had no idea that there was a connection between light bulbs and...
Like flames.
Where did you learn this?
Hotter than,
a blue flame
astronomy
is hotter
books.
than what? A blue flame is hotter than what?
Well, even like a campfire. Like red, a red flame when it's like about to go out kind of thing, or like red embers. It's still hot because you wouldn't want to fucking pick it up, but it's cooler than like a yellowy or orange or a white fire. Or a blue flame from a propane torch is hotter than a match, which is like orange.
See, the more you know. There you guys go. Now I'm going to catch up. See, I never knew that. Okay, so the sun is a white star, at least in real life. Red Dog says, all I know about blue giants is that they sadly don't last too long. They are so big and burn so much fuel that they are relatively short-lived. That's sad, Red Dog.
True statement.
Hey, and then he says AI. Now that's a great topic. AI will be, oh no, Red Dog, don't do it. AI will be vital for our exploration and understanding of the universe. Not to mention it's our best tool to communicate to alien life. Love that AI. Red Dog, we know. And we have discussed it in previous episodes where...
ChatGPT's not AI though, so...
Where Brad will be railing against ChatGPT, but we have discussed AI, and how important it will be for space exploration. So... I'm trying to still catch up. I'm okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so after that, there's coffee emojis. I love that. Old Virgin says there are points where gravity from more than one body sort of cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's the Lagrange points you were talking about.
Those are what Lagrange points are. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like the positive and negative thing that... Isn't that something that was talked about in one of the videos about black holes, where it was like if you threw two separate whatever into the hole, they would cancel each other out? And some would get spewed out. I watched a lot of those videos you sent about black holes. Never mind. I'm on a tangent. That probably makes no
I remember
sense.
what you're talking about. No, that's not...
That's not what it's not. It's a different
thing.
Okay. No. Perfect Cell says, have you guys talked about black hole stars? We briefly
I think we
mentioned
did.
one.
Someone
Yeah,
brought
a
that up.
star. I did. I mentioned, I was like, it was in the previous black hole episode where I was like, did you know there's like a star that's in the center of that's a black hole in the center of it? Yeah, we did talk about that in a previous episode. Old Virgin says the sun is a G class star. So what
Yep.
color would that be? I guess
Like
yellow.
white, with a bit of yellow in it, like yellowy white, whitish yellow.
Etherson says my name is totally made up. It's a bastardized form of Jordan Peterson. Oh, I don't care how it's pronounced. I have to go to work, but thank you so much for the channel membership. No problem. Enjoy doing the astronomy work. I mean, thank you. Keep that up.
Working with science.
Yeah, and please, again, if you ever want to give any input, whether you've bastardized your name or not, please do. Like, we appreciate you having even lurked. Sorry to call you out like that, but also thank you. Red Dog said, my light bulbs are 4,000 degrees. I knew it. And that's pretty exciting. Red Dog said, flame isn't sun. The sun is plasma. It's not fire. Nuclear plasma. By the way, Brad, I know you were talking about light wavelengths, says Red Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh. Did you just get corrected? Did I just miss something? Oh. Old Virgin says yellow. Pixel says, I know it sounds stupid, but why don't we see green or purple stars?
Ooh,
There's no
that's
stupid question. I'll see. Ooh, go on. Yes. It's a good question. Tell us.
Yeah, why is there no green? Green's in between yellow and blue in the rainbow. Why is there no green stars?
Yeah, so why?
I don't remember the answer, but I definitely remember looking it up. I think I think the answer to purple is because it's too close to ultraviolet, and that doesn't work with the physical characteristics of stars.
Can you use the typing?
It would get too hot to exist as a star for it to be purple, or it would be a wavelength that's not very visible. Because there's stars that put out lots of ultraviolet light. That's how you get sunburn and skin cancer and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But we don't see it, so it's hard to see purple like that in that sense. Okay, I gotta go look up the green thing though. I don't remember.
Please. Keep the typing on. I'd love to hear the typing.
Because part of it is kind of like, why do you not see green in the sky, even at crazy sunsets and shit like that? Like, you see green aurora, but that's different. We're talking about...
Red Dog says it's actually because of how humans see. But I think it's just more than that, too, Red Dog, isn't it? I mean, or else, or is it? We'll find out.
The atmosphere absorbs green light. That's why we don't see it in, sunsets and stuff.
Ooh, typing is smart.
Why are there no green stars?
Why are there no green stars? Perfect Cell says stars don't typically emit only green light, according to Google. That doesn't seem right. Old Virgin says, Perfect Cell, that's just because of the way light works. Green light is present in stars, but it's drowned out by other colors. Huh, look at
Both correct. Okay, here's the two concise answers. The only way to see a star as green is for it to almost exclusively emit green light. However, stars are always producing more than one wavelength of light. It produces infrared, which you don't see, and that's heat. It produces the color that we do see. It produces ultraviolet that we don't see. And then the other thing, because of the way our eyes see combinations of frequencies of light, green can never dominate the color of a star. Bam.
I love this. We're learning stuff, guys.
Oh, and then Reddit, why are there no green or purple stars? Bam! 30 plus comments 10 months ago. Fuck yeah, we're clicking on that. Stars could be red, orange, yellow, blue, white, and it all depends on temperature. But if you think about the colors in the spectrum, there's a gap between yellow and blue, where green stars should be. Green stars should be in the stars that have a temperature between that of yellow stars and blue. So why are there no green stars and purple ones too?
Why?
TLDR has to do with how the blackbody radiation curve isn't sharp enough to activate primarily in the medium wavelength cones in our eyes for green. Hence the color goes yellow, white, blue,
is right.
over yellow, green, blue. Similar story for violet. Your rods and cones, man.
Wow, you're all so smart. You guys all are smart in the chat. All of you are smart. And God, I
Yeah, it's a
feel like
combination
so
of
thankful.
human evolution and the science of light. It says nay.
Red Dog, what you drew just there, that emoji, I have an emoji that I'm going to upload that's my character doing that, my Bitmoji. Doing that literal thing, that gesture. I guess I'm going to get uploader. The only problem I find with the Bitmoji is they're so tiny. But whatever that's called, I have that. Anyway, so well, you guys were all right. So, okay.
While I was up at the computer, my cat stole my spot on the couch.
The cat's like, warm spot.
It's so warm here.
Aww. She's like, that's my opportunity. What do you do? What do? You don't move the cat, right? You're gonna let the cat stay there, right?
Her house moves her cat.
Okay, yeah. So now what are you doing? Are you just gonna sit on the floor? Or yeah, ask her, what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's a couch. There's
room.
There's space for more than there's space for a person and a cat on my couch. I'm living large over here.
Wow! You are. You fancy.
It's a whole couch.
You fancy over there. Oh my goodness! Like a whole couch. Anyway, so Perfect Cell says, so is the reason we see stars as one color because other wavelengths are too light, or because our eyes just can't see them? Can I guess? Maybe
yes.
Part of that, but is it also because light, you know how light is filtered through the sky, like, you know, like the sky looks blue, blah, 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 because of blah, 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 and then stuff to the atmosphere and light and that? Is it because of that? Partially as well?
Not really.
But no?
Because we could look up in the night sky and very distinctly see, like, Betelgeuse is very red. And
we can't have never seen things be red in the sky. Really?
You can totally see it.
Well
I mean, you live in a large city, so it's hard to see that kind of shit.
I've lived in the country too, and I don't ever remember seeing a red star. I'm just saying.
Well, get the fuck out there and see it. You can totally see it.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go, folks.
Red giants twinkle red. Blue giants twinkle blue.
I probably thought they were satellites or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I've seen red stuff in the sky. Yeah, I just thought they were satellites or something. Do you know what I mean?
But why we see them as one color is because that's the emission that's dominating for that particular star.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because every light wave is associated with a certain energy.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, there's other colors, but
we are totally ruining the Stars episode, by the way, just so you know. Spoilers.
This is the prelude to Stars.
It's to get you warmed up for a Star episode.
Is that a heat joke?
I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah. What's Perfect?
We were talking about Jupiter, I think.
Perfect Cell says Bruce is so knowledgeable, more reliable than Google. Perfect Cell, actually, it's Brad that we're hearing right now. I don't know why you'd confuse Brad with Bruce, but Bruce is somebody in our chat.
Can we replace Google with Bruce? Call it Brucel?
Brucel. I don't think Bruce is awake anymore. Oh, Perfect Cell said, whoops, yeah. No, this is Brad. This is Brad GPT. Yeah, GPT. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my bad for mixing up their names so often. No, this is my apologies, Brad, says Perfect Cell.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've been called worse.
You've been called worse than Bruce?
Than ChatGPT.
Oh, than ChatGPT, yeah. Well, you're most reliable than Google, Brad. You're more reliable than Google, Brad. Wow, look at that. BrewTube. Oh, no, Red Dog, no. No, you should just erase your own comment there, Red Dog. Ouch. Ouch.
I think that's a website on the dark web.
Yeah, old version says, look at the left shoulder of Orion. That's Betelgeuse, and it is very red.
Yes.
There you go.
Also, C-beams.
What about C-beams? Look, we're supposed to be talking about solar systems. What are you doing?
C-beams off the shoulder of Orion.
Oh, God, you guys are getting really excited. They're like, wait! C-beams!
It's a quote from Blade Runner.
I didn't. I gotta rewatch
that. You're watching Aliens over and over again. Go watch some damn Blade Runner.
Well, yeah, you're right. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I have missed out on watching Blade Runner again. You're right. It's true. I have rewatched Aliens too much. Okay, so then and then okay, solar system time. Saturn says perfect. So, yeah, we're trying to stay on track here. Um, are we at Saturn? What about
No, we didn't.
Jupiter?
No, yeah, because we went to the asteroid belt and we kind of went on a tangent.
Jupiter
So,
is
yeah,
the
Jupiter.
largest planet, gas giant, great red
King of the
spot.
planets.
Why is it? Why? King of the planets, why?
Because it won the gravity war and ate up all the other stuff.
Really? Tell me more. Jupiter. What about Jupiter?
I
3
know.
almost made a song called Hey Jupiter.
Because they called it Hey Jude instead.
No, Hey Jupiter. No.
Oh.
Jupiter is just fat, says Perfect Cell. Holy fuck, you're so mean to Jupiter. That's mean. Is it though? What is it about Jupiter? Anything about Jupiter? Or we Jupiter and the red spot is shrinking, says Red Dog. It could be gone in our lifetime. Sad times. See, you guys fat shame
Save the
Jupiter.
red spot.
You guys fat shame Jupiter.
Go down to your local head of government and protest the shrinking of the red spot.
You guys fat shame Jupiter, so it's gone anorexic? Is this what's going on? And the red spot is shrinking. It could be gone in our lifetime. So the red spot on Jupiter could be gone in our lifetime? Maybe it was like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. Maybe some things just aren't meant to
I don't know
last
enough
forever.
about that to comment one way or the other. It seems like if something's like 600 or 800 times the size of Earth, that has to be fucking diminishing real quick to disappear in like 50 years.
2 suns.
It might though, I don't know.
Well, sources. Typity. I'm in the red spider system. I've never been here before. Yeah, they need answers. Red Duck says Jupiter and the red spot. Okay, save the red spot. Perfect Cell says, how do we save the red spot, Brad? We need answers, Brad. How do we save it, says Perfect Cell.
I'm pretty sure we can't. We can't even control the weather on this planet. Like, deliberately, we can fuck it up, but we can't control the weather. So, we'd have to figure out how to get to Jupiter, and then essentially like weather control machines.
Why would we even want to save the red spot? What is the red spot? As I'm
a
in
tourist
red
attraction.
spider. Oh.
It's basically a giant hurricane.
We must use nukes, says Red Dog. It's Old Virgin says it's a storm and it's blowing itself out. So it's just a storm that's been going on forever and it's finally coming to an end. And we're like, no, keep the storm going. That's horrible of us.
Encore.
We're like, no, don't stop the party now. That's terrible.
Well, like all the color bands in Jupiter are there because of different chemicals in the atmosphere and the storms that perpetuate them circling the planet. Because otherwise it'd just slow down and kind of melt together into this beigeish soup.
Perfect Cell says throw Mars at it. Wow, we really don't like Mars.
Planet fight! Planet fight!
No, well, Mars would be a red spot on it, I guess. Could Mars fit on within the? Oh shit! I'm about to go. Oh, too close! Oh shit! You guys, I flew too close to the sun. Ah, for fuck's sake!
Not again.
No, I'm
Mars
on
would totally
cooldown. What?
Mars would totally fit.
Mars would fit. Mars would fit. There you go.
In the storm? Absolutely. Earth can fit.
Earth can fit. Okay. Red
Ooh,
Dog says there are a
like-
couple other smaller red spots. They don't get the glory though. You're cooked, Red Dog. I am, but you know I can get out of this. I've seen worse. I just gotta wait for my cooldown. Then I'll get an escape vector and I'm getting the fuck out of here. For
Get your
now,
heat sinks ready? Get your heat sinks ready.
I'm okay. It's actually I didn't fall enough to get hurt. I just, where's that? Fly to
At the start of the podcast
star?
tonight, when we were talking about how the surface of the sun is actually cooler than the upper atmosphere. You're in that upper atmosphere that's hot as all fuck.
I know.
And the game won't really let you fly closer because you'll die.
I know. Oh no, it's another. Wait, was this the double sun? Or oh shit. No, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay, guys. It was a close one. That would have sucked. I would have lost all my maps, as I call them. You fly to the core of the stars, says Perfect Cell. You'll get a lot of energy in there. Jupiter is also... Oh, man, can I go back? That means I didn't get any maps in that system. It was a... Wait, I didn't get any maps in that system. What if it had the greatest things? How do I go back? How do I go back one step? Can I go back one step? I'd have to map it, wouldn't I?
It, though.
Oh,
Yep.
that would suck. Oh, fuck. I'll never know what was there. I'll never know.
Yep.
I think it was 2 suns. Oh, no, guys, I'll never know. There's and I was in a 2-sun system, wasn't it? Or was that the previous one? Fuck.
I don't know. You were the one that almost flew into it.
Ah, damn it. I don't know. It's fine. Anybody remember if I even honked? Jupiter is also our oldest planet, says Red Dog. Well, how do you know that? How do we know?
He cut it in half and counted its rings.
Yeah. No, but how do you know? How do you know what's the oldest planet in the system?
It might be a kind of like, hey, it's the largest, so it started accumulating mass first, and that kind of that would mean it's the oldest. I don't know. Seems like a plausible theory, though, I guess.
What is the theory? What is the... Explain, Red Dog. It's a 4.8 billion, I think. It's all hydrogen and helium. We can measure age. Oh, you measure age of planets by hydrogen and helium? Perfect Cell's like Jupiter looks old. It's got a few wrinkles. Hey, maybe it's just gotten a lot of sun. Maybe it smiled a lot. Well, Brad, is that how planets are? Is hydrogen and helium how we've decided the age of places? Well, I don't know.
Well, they're the oldest elements in the universe, so things made of simple elements are older than complex elements.
See. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I don't know.
Because millions of years of, atoms and stuff just smacking together, and nuclear fusion and supernova will produce heavier elements.
So all we got to say about Jupiter is it's old? That's kind of sad.
No, I think we were talking about a bunch of other stuff than that. It protects Earth from countless comets and shit.
That's nice. Oh, Red Dog said it's called radiometric dating. See, Red Dog being the smart pants. What happened to you, Brad? Is there not enough coffee tonight, or what happened? Why didn't you say radiometric dating?
Because he brought it up. He can look it up. And he did.
He's like, there you go. But I thought
Choose
know
what adventure.
Oh, those books are so fun. Radiometric dating.
Yeah.
And it's all proven
similar
that
to,
Earth is 2,000 years old. Yeah, exactly.
Shut up.
I'm just feeling feisty. Perfect Cell says a lot of people say that Jupiter is a failed star, but it's not even close to a brown dwarf, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so there's lots of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, fuck those people. I don't know. Who says it? A failed star.
If it was way heavier, it could be like the smallest type of star, but that's kind of inconsequential. It's like, yeah, it could if it were totally different.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
so that's like any gas giant. If it would kept accumulating matter to the point that it achieved nuclear fusion on its own, it would be a star, because that's how stars were made.
Could Earth ever become a star?
I mean, from a pure physical perspective, if you had infinite time and energy, you probably could, but it wouldn't be an Earth anymore.
Huh. Okay. Saturn, known for its stunning rings. Let's talk about Saturn. Can't be here all night, mister. Oh, by the way, Red Dog says it's a radioactive dating that we can do through telescopes. It looks at half-lives of certain elements. I'm going to go into the sun again, aren't I? So same concept as carbon dating, but we have to use different tools. I was thinking of carbon dating when you said what did you say? Radioactive dating. Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. I was like, but again, it would show that
it's like carbon dating and mass spectrometry mixed together. But yeah, you can do it remotely through telescopes and spectral lines and stuff like that.
Oh, spectral lines sound sexy. Perfect Cell says Saturn is losing its rings. Sad times we live in.
No.
It is? Why? Why is it losing its rings? Radiometric dating, Red Dog says. Red Dog's all for radiometric dating, but thinks we should only have one moon for Earth.
Radiometric moon monogamy.
Yeah. So what about Saturn losing its rings? Tell me about that. What's going on there? What's that about? Would you eat the moon if it was made of cheese? Sorry, that's an SNL reference. Go on, though. What about the
right kind of cheese, maybe?
It's all about balance, says Red Dog. But what about Saturn losing its rings? What's that about? What's going on? Nobody tells me about Saturn. Nobody tells me anything. I didn't know Saturn was losing its rings.
Someone told you that it floats earlier, which is true. Or it would, rather. Not that it floats.
So it would float. Okay,
it's less dense than water.
Perfect Cell says Saturn is losing its rings because gravity and other forces are gradually pulling the icy particles that make up the rings into the planet. Oh, that's not good. Look, it's pretty. Well, there'll be someday people going, back in my day, Saturn had rings. Red Dog says the rings are falling into the planet. And Perfect Cell said it's called ring rain. Why did chocolate rain come into my head? Anybody remember Chocolate Rain? YouTube, okay, it's 20 years old. Some of you gotta remember Chocolate Rain. That guy is actually pretty cool. Anybody? Chocolate Rain? No? We're on Ring Rain? Got it. Brad is quiet. He doesn't want to admit that he knew about Chocolate Rain. No? Brad, do you remember Chocolate Rain?
I was thinking of Purple Rain.
Well, Purple Rain is great. I mean, Prince was great, but do you remember Chocolate Rain on YouTube?
No.
Oh my god. Okay. Hold please. This is important. I mean,
it might not be.
Oh, it is. It is. It's very important. I mean, this is an iconic part of our heritage as we sit here on this old site, this YouTube. We can't not have Chocolate Rain.
Just for clarification for the future people that watch this, heritage doesn't mean anything that happened in the past.
I don't know. We're just
saying.
This
may or may not be important.
YouTube heritage. I'm putting it. I don't know whether to put it into YouTube videos.
YouTube heritage might be the biggest oxymoron of the evening.
Music lovers or YouTube vids.
YouTube vids.
Okay, fine, but it is a song.
But it has more to do with YouTube.
Okay,
maybe.
Okay. So there you go. Well, it's iconic. No, it was great.
Things can be bad and iconic at the same time. Just saying.
No, the guy was great. The rings are falling into the planet. It's called ring rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Earth had rings at 1.2, said Red Dog. Wait, Brad, you're keeping secrets from me. What are you talking about? We had rings around Earth. I didn't know this. Brad, did you know this? Brad, are you keeping Earth secrets from me? Brad? Brad? Did Earth have rings?
I don't know, Red Dog, elaborate on your random statement about a planet we stopped talking about minutes and minutes ago.
No, I want sources. Earth should have rings now,
then
says Perfect
ask
Cell.
him for sources.
And 5 moons, says Perfect Cell. Red Dog, if we had rings, they would rain down destruction on our surface. So did we have rings or didn't we have rings? Perfect says,
we might have during our evolution.
We need rings and 5 moons. Perfect Cell, I know. One day, maybe in an alternate universe, a parallel universe, or whatever, multi-universe, you are on an Earth right now with 5 moons, okay?
If the lunar creation theory about something smashing into Earth and making debris that coalesce into the moon, then we'd probably have rings during that period, and then, yeah, they're all gone.
They just left. They floated away. Do you know the moon is floating away? We
No,
talked about this before. But
it
moon
would have
is
been.
leaving us, by the way, just so you know. So you want to be attached to that one moon, Red Dog? Well, guess what? That one moon is leaving your ass. Just so you know, it's getting further away from us all the time. And yeah, I know it's not that far. Brad clarified that it's going really slowly, but it's still on its way. It's like, I'm out of here. I'm just leaving slowly, so you don't try to talk me out of it. So I'm telling you, like, even the moon is like tired of our shit. Just saying, Red Dog, Mr. One Moon guy. Moon is ditching us. Moon is out of here. What are you gonna do then? You're gonna wish for the other moons then. Yep. You're gonna be like, oh, any other moons out there? Because we're losing our moon, are we not? Right? Brad?
I mean, everything in the universe is going away from everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, but like for real though. Okay, we know Red Dog. I gotta read that carefully. I almost read the wrong word. Red Dog said, "We know how hard rock planets like ours form. We can see that it's cocoon for them to have rings. So in the early formation of our planet, it almost certainly had rings."
Almost certainly.
Perfect Cell
That
said,
sounds like
"That's what."
conjecture.
Yeah, but we'd like that over here. Perfect Cell said, "That's
No.
why we need 5 moons. If we have 5 moons, we could lose one and still have plenty left over." I like how you think, Perfect Cell. Old Virgin says, "If Earth had rings now, it would be bad just because of the reflected light that doesn't reach us." That's a good point. Unless they were very, very thin rings. I don't know. Perfect Cell says, "Our moon is so far from us that you can fit every planet in the solar system between us and the moon." Is that true? Brad?
What?
Is that true?
What?
Our moon is so far from us that you can fit every planet in the solar system between us and the moon?
I think so. It's pretty far. 265,000 kilometers away.
Red Dog says it's 100% true. Old Virgin says, yes, that's true. So why are we trying to hold on to it? It's already distanced itself from us from so far. Just let it go already. The moon's made its point. Okay, so we talked about Saturn. It's just known for stunning rings, apparently nothing else. Nobody cares about anything else about it. We got Uranus to talk about now, Brad. Let's make 4 new moons, says Perfect Cell. You're gonna have to let that go soon, Perfect Cell. You're just gonna have to
Yeah,
let that go.
I think that's why we're not talking about planets as much as we want to.
We need to talk about Uranus then, Brad, please. Can we talk about Uranus? They could be like Death Stars. There you go, Perfect Cell. We're gonna talk about Uranus. Anybody know about Uranus? Why the silence? What?
It's like a green kind of turquoise color.
You gave me a fact about it at the very start. It rolls on its side.
Yeah,
and we made a joke about it. And it's an icy
one of us
giant. Yeah, oh, I made a joke. That's right. I made a...
yeah, Saturn and Jupiter are called gas giants, and because Neptune and Uranus are so cold, they're called the ice giants.
Saturn and who?
Jupiter.
They're both ice?
They're gas giants. And
Perfect
then Neptune
Cell
and
says...
Uranus...
Oh, go on. What? Continue.
Are cold since
Oh. I mean that. Please go. Please go on, Brad. Please.
I feel like I said it like 4 times now. Moving on.
No, I don't know. We don't have press to talk. I'm sorry. It sounds like you're pronouncing it wrong, Series. Uranus? Am I pronouncing it wrong? How's it pronounced?
I usually say Uranus, so people can make less jokes about it.
But how is it actually pronounced?
Uranus?
Really? Okay, let's go to dictionary. Okay. Uranus? Is it really Uranus? Let's find out. How do I... How to pronounce it correctly? Oh no, that's a web. No, that's a how to pronounce. Okay, here's the UK version.
Uranus.
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 It's Uranus.
Uranus.
It's
That's what
Uranus.
sounds like she's saying.
Uranus.
In UK and Uranus. Why have we been
Uranus.
saying Uranus?
Uranus. Uranus.
Like literally our teacher saying Uranus. It's Uranus. It's Uranus.
Yep.
Why didn't you say that earlier? Why do we call it Uranus? It's literally called Uranus. No, for real. Like, I've never heard a teacher call it Uranus. Nobody's ever called it Uranus.
Spoiler alert, teachers could be stupid and wrong too.
No, like, even... like, YouTube videos, people talking about it. I don't hear them calling it Uranus. Do you hear it ever called Uranus?
Yeah. That's why I pronounce it like that.
Okay, so Uranus.
People run around saying Uranus are like, okay, hi, you're doing it for the lulz, we get it.
No,
Okay, moving on.
I
Is there an adult?
honestly
Is there an
thought-
adult here? We have a conversation with adults here. Nope.
I literally honestly thought it was always called Uranus. And that's why it was so
I believe
funny.
you when you say that.
And that's why it was funny because people would make jokes about it, but it was like, no, that's what it's called. It's just,
I feel like part of the answer to that question is like, how many people are honestly interested in astronomy versus people that just talk about shit?
No, I honestly think a lot of people did know it's called Uranus.
But they don't give a shit enough to check.
No,
It's like, Uranus, it sounds funny.
No, that's not
Your
fair,
butt.
Brad. I obviously care. I care. I just thought the joke was
But you
that...
care enough to look it up too, and now you know better.
I know, but I'm so old to finally know better. I've always just thought it was called that, and always not. But
Maybe the lesson of today is trust nothing and check for yourself.
Wow, Uranus. Okay, so Cell says, okay, Red Dog says the hardest thing for people to understand about space is how far these distances are. It's insane. If the moon is that far, how far is Jupiter, Pluto? Forget other solar systems and galaxies. No, you're right, Red Dog. Old Virgin says the discovery of Uranus doubled the size of the solar system. Really?
It's pretty goddamn far away.
Wow. Perfect Cell says, because the way you said it sounds like Uranus series. I did. That's literally how I always thought it was pronounced. I just thought people would make it into a lewd joke, and sometimes I'd be embarrassed to say the name of the planet because I'd be like, oh, I don't want to say anus. But I never knew it was called Uranus until now. Uranus, okay? It just sounds wrong. I know, but nobody told me it was wrong.
I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
I really didn't know. I feel like, wow. Well, I'm like, okay, I never got to go to higher education. And I know it's like elementary, but it's clearly somebody said it wrong, and I learned wrong. And if I read about it, like I read a lot growing up, you don't learn how to pronounce things necessarily from reading before you could just like put on your phone how to pronounce, and hear somebody pronounce it to you. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those readers who self-taught reading, like a reader who just never learned how to pronounce certain things. But that's quite a thing to have wrong the whole time. It just sounds wrong. Yeah, I always thought so too, Perfect Cell. But I just was like, oh, it gets to be a joke too. Red Dog said it's a dumb name. It's the only named Greek planet. They need to switch it to Celeus. That's the Roman name of Uranus? Is it Caelus? Caelus. So it's a dumb name because it's like Greek instead of Roman, like most of the planets. Red Dog says Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Neptune, all Roman. Uranus is Greek. Hashtag rename Uranus to Celius. Is it Celius? Salus? How do you say it, Brad? I don't trust myself. Caelus.
Caelus?
Caelus? How
Out
do
of
you
the
say?
sky. I don't.
How do you say it,
You could
Red
blame William
Dog?
Herschel for that. Discoverer of Uranus.
Who? Blame who?
William Herschel, I think.
Okay.
Discoverer of Uranus.
Make Pluto a planet again. I agree. We're almost there. We're almost to Pluto. Don't worry. We're almost there. There's so much more to the solar system. Can we have a solar system episode 2? Because I know there were terrestrials and gas moons and other
We
objects.
might have to stop at Neptune and then, do a solar system 2. The rest of it.
Yeah. So Neptune.
All the minor planets. There's the Oort cloud, the Kuiper belt, comets.
Exactly.
The edge of the, so it's a whole bunch of shit to talk about.
Oh, and I'd love to talk about where I was when Halley's Bop's comet or different comets happened. Neptune says furthest known planet, strong winds, deep blue color, and then we'll end on a quiz for Brad after this. So Neptune. What about Neptune? Deep blue color. Also a beautiful AOL name. I used to know people named Neptune who were into, a person named Neptune who was into astrology. She'd do charts. I remember that. She had a great name. Anyway, I hope you're well out there, Neptune, wherever you are. Neptune something. Would we talk about Planet X in the Solar System 2 episode, Perfect Cell? Yeah, I think we should talk about a lot of stuff. Rhyming with skyless. Okay. So Silas or skyless? Skyless? Rhyming or sounding like skyless?
I think rhyming and sounding like are kind of similar.
Silas or skyless? Well, if it's Silas, then it still rhymes with skyless. If it sounds like skyless, Kylus. Okay, Kylus? Okay, gotcha. Kylus. Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Red Dog. Appreciate you. I'm so glad that you were one of the people that Sting a Man bestowed a, accidentally bestowed a membership on. That was cool. Okay. So, and it's the Hold My Coffee tier, which is funny. I think that's funny anyway. So where were we again? What about Neptune?
Neptune. You're talking about blue and stuff.
Yeah, that's so nice.
It also has rings, but they're really faint.
Aw. White rings? Is it white rings or?
I think it's mostly ice, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because how cold it is. Triton is its largest moon.
Ooh. Hey, where's Titan, though? Where's Titan? Is it in our solar system?
There's a moon of Saturn.
It's a moon of Saturn. Oh, I can't wait to get into that stuff later. Okay, because we can talk about stars, we can also talk about more moons. Neptune rains diamonds, says Perfect Cell. And one of your degrees is in folklore. Oh, that's right, Red Dog. So you would know all this Greek mythology and stuff. Oh, I love that. That's right. And I remember mentioning Wild Women Who Run with the Wolves to you. Old Virgin says, unexpected changes in Uranus orbit did I say it right? Led to the discovery of Neptune, meaning that Neptune was the first planet discovered by maths, not direct observation. Old Virgin.
Yeah.
With
I think that was a part of the
beautiful.
Hey, where's Planet X? Because all the orbits don't make sense with our math. And yeah, they kept looking for stuff.
And they found Neptune.
Neptune's fucking there. What the fuck?
When did Neptune get found? When did Neptune get found?
I want to say in the 1800s somewhere.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Like Pluto was like
We're almost
early
there.
1900s.
And then
So it's before that.
1846 says Red Dog.
Okay.
Wow, Red Dog. He goes, yeah, Neptune is dope. 1846. There's a lot going on back then, and we still were like, hey, Neptune's a planet. Huh. Okay. 75 jumps, guys. Well, okay. Neptune rains diamonds, like real diamonds. Let's go. I mean,
I don't think they have the same cut. But yeah.
oh,
I think it has to do with like cloud formation and stuff like that,
To
and
think
the pressure in
that
the atmosphere.
Pluto used to be the ninth planet, but was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. It was a tough year.
It
I
tested
remember
positive
where
for
it
doping,
was.
so they took its planet status away.
I remember where it was. I was
Not on Pluto.
It was a tough time. There was outrage in the streets. I
The
remember.
world burned for 7 days and 7 nights.
I remember there was a lot of tears. You know, it was like, no, you can't take Pluto away from us. But they didn't listen. You know, little did we know how much more they would take from us in the years to come. But Pluto was a planet, and to some of us, in our hearts, it always will be. You know, right? Right, Brad? Brad? He's like, are you okay? Brad? Are you
What?
there? Well, do you
Yeah.
have any thoughts about Pluto before we go? We're not going just yet, but it's just. But where are you in space? How many jumps are you?
I didn't know we were done with Neptune, but okay.
Oh, well, if you had more to say about Neptune, then talk about Neptune.
Well, you went right from it rains diamonds to Pluto was not a planet anymore.
Well, I didn't know what else we needed to
Starlight.
say. I didn't know that we had more to say. That's how far away Brad is. 30,000 light years.
I'm 117 jumps from the center. The center is my next waypoint.
I'm a lot further than that. I'm a lot further than that.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes.
Omega Sector is kind of cool, though, so...
I think Pluto would be quite happy with its new designation, says Old Virgin, because it is now remarkable as the largest dwarf planet instead of the runt of the litter. You know, good way to look at it, Old Virgin. That's a good way to look at it. It's not the teeniest, furthest away planet. No, it's like the biggest dwarf planet. Yeah, there you go. Over there, at least, right? So, what did you want to say more about
You're not
Neptune?
in second place. You're first of the losers.
Yeah, you're the first. Listen, you're the first outcast. What are you gonna? What more did you want to say about Neptune? If you felt I watched
I don't know.
over
I just
it
didn't know
quick.
if you wanted to just be like, next!
Well, no. Tell me more. If you got more to say about Neptune, you say it now, because I don't know what to say about it. Except it sounds pretty. That's all I got. Anybody got anything on Neptune? Anyone? Class? Bueller?
I don't know. Thought you would have had more questions.
I don't have questions about it.
right.
Anclo's back. Anclo, do you have any questions about Neptune? Not to put you on the spot, but just saying. So I don't have any questions about Neptune. I think it sounds lovely.
It
think
has
it's
a
minded
blue
in
spot
spe-
like Jupiter has a red spot. There's a
Well,
giant storm there.
So it's a blue storm
Or does
instead
it-
of a red
or did-
storm?
Well, because Neptune's blue. Or did it dissipate by now? Like we were talking about how the red
Well,
spot
can
did.
you find that out? I can't find out. Anybody know? Is there a storm on Neptune?
Is the great blue spot gone, or does it still exist?
Was there ever a blue spot? Is there? Is
Yes,
the
there
whole
was.
thing blue? There. Look at this. Was there ever a blue spot there? Yes, there was. Welcome back, Anklo. Good to see you. Have you been fighting on Super Earth? Anklo, it's how does Neptune's magnetic field compare to other planets? I don't know. Brad? And back to the spot, Old Virgin says it's gone, but more have appeared. So it's a blight on
okay.
Neptune.
It's
Okay.
like Earth hurricanes. They come and they go.
Yeah, so storms. They come and they go. What about Anklo's question?
I don't have Neptune's magnetic field in my
Memory bank?
in my quick accessible memory.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I
That's
don't
like
know.
the first
Does it have a
question
magnetic field? Yeah. How does it compare to other planets? Probably bigger than Earth's, but smaller than Jupiter's, because Neptune is bigger than Earth and smaller than Jupiter? I don't know. It has to do with its core and stuff like that.
There you go, Anklo. That's your grumpy answer from Brad. He's like, look, I don't know, kid. Do you think I know about the magnetic fields of every freaking planet in the solar system? Do you think I even care about Neptune's magnetic fields?
I mean,
That's
there was
how
less
Brad
sass,
sounded.
but that's a random
That's
question.
how Brad sounded. Anklo's like, what
So he
minerals
likes
do you...
projecting.
Anklo said, what minerals do we think are on it? Yeah, what do we know about what minerals are on Neptune? Is there anything on there? Are we curious about Neptune's minerals, or do we not know enough yet?
It's a gas planet, so it would be
Gassy?
siphoning stuff off.
Oh.
It wouldn't be like mining for rocks.
Is this a gas planet? So there's nothing there but gas.
It would be like, we'd basically be fuel scooping. We'd be flying through the atmosphere fuel scooping it.
So it's...
Give me that.
Oh, so it'd be fuel scoop. Yeah, so no minerals, just fuel scooping it. It's interesting. Those are good questions, Anklo. I appreciate that you're trying.
I think the blue is from like scattering, not like there's blue substances there.
Scattering of what?
The scattering of light.
Okay, we got
like how our
Anklo
apps do
saying,
and stuff.
yeah, but anything worth the cost? Probably not, Anklo. Old Virgin says it's almost also not as blue as you think. The deep blue color was enhanced to show details better, and the picture was sent out by mistake.
Enhanced contrast.
Oh no, so it's not really blue? I feel so
It's
lied
blue. It's
to.
just not as much. I think you immediately misread or misinterpreted that statement. It's not as blue as the pictures say it is, because they amped up the saturation and contrast.
I feel lied to. Uranus?
I mean, the world is a lie.
Uranus? The cake is a lie.
Neptune's
anything...
actually grayscale. It's not blue at all.
Anklo said, yeah, but is there anything worth the cost? I don't know. I think Neptune's too far for us to even really think of, like, caring about getting anything from it. And like he said, it's a gas planet, so we don't even care. Right? We don't care about the gas planets?
That's not what I said. I said you can't mine it like you mine terrestrial resources on Earth, like a diamond mine or coal or something like that. You wouldn't dig a hole and pull stuff out of Neptune.
What would you do then? And why do we want to do anything? Why do you want to hurt Neptune, Anklo? What's wrong with you? Why not leave Anklo? Anklo, why not leave Neptune alone?
Planet Anklo, leave him alone.
Yeah, why do you want to hurt Neptune? Neptune's minding its business.
You can't.
It's going through something. It's all blue. It's blue, but more like Uranus. I'm trying to say it right. Uranus than the pics you see in science books, says Old Virgin. Old Virgin likes astronomy, eh? Old Virgin coming around. How'd you find me, Old Virgin? I'm curious. Have you been here before? I appreciate all your input tonight. Well, everybody's input, but I really appreciate it. Is its atmosphere like 70% hydrogen, says Anklo? I don't know.
I would guess, yeah, but there's probably lots of like trace elements, like you said. If it rains diamond, there's got to be carbon there. It's high pressure.
Carbon makes diamonds, that's right. Cast a very big net through the atmosphere, said Old Virgin. What does? What did?
If you want to try to catch a cloud with a net, I'd love to see you try.
Cloud with a net. When I think of Brad,
Deploy
I think of
cloud
old,
nets.
Deploy cloud nets. I think of Brad with the like old man shaking fists at cloud. That's Brad from The Simpsons.
You're not far off.
I know, it's great. But he's
Old
not
man
old
shakes
man
fists at
yet.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, yes, that's Brad.
You're not creative. You're just
Wait!
picking up
Oh,
recycled input information.
oh my god.
ChatGPT
I have
is
to
the
make a
cloud.
ChatGPT image right now. Hold on. Hold, please. Any more questions? Well, what do you think then next week we can talk about? Can we continue solar system? Because we didn't even get to asteroids, comets, but we've talked about the Kepler belt in previous episodes. This Oort cloud, the spherical shell of icy objects, edge of the sun's influence. We haven't talked about so many things. Magnetic fields, all this stuff. We didn't talk about anything. It's like we sat here in silence for the whole time. I'm just kidding. We talked about a lot of stuff, guys.
Lots to talk about. But yeah, we can just continue next week unless you want to jump topics and come back to it.
No, I'd love to. Well, what do you guys think? Do you want to keep... Oh, okay, so Anklo says, oh, and won't it absorb reddish light and make it blue? What, the Neptune?
Elements on Neptune might, yeah.
Oh, look at you guys being smart, Anklo.
That's how like atmospheric scattering and color works like that.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Anklo. You might not have been here. But we talked about that earlier right, in a different thing. Oh, see, you're right, Anklo. See? There you go.
It's like either the composition of...
No, now you're bad, Anklo. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, showing up and asking questions. Because, gosh, I don't have all the right ones. I ran out of questions, Old Virgin says you popped up on my feed as an Elite Dangerous stream, so I thought I'd have a look and resist a convo about space. Yeah, I'm sorry I got a little... I can jump faster than this.
Took that, Helldivers!
Yeah, take that. I'm an exploration, just so you know, and I did most of my exploring a few years ago with Brad here, and it's the only thing I've ranked up on, as you can see. I did a little bit of merchant, a little bit of space mail, but I've done my exploration. So that's what I did mostly. See, and I've blown up a lot of my ships. But you can see here, I'm an explorer, and it's mostly because Brad got me out of Colonia when we ran away from Daniel. I ran away from Daniel. Brad helped me escape. I jumped to what was my first ship called? Ripley, but what is the first ship that you have called in this game?
I think you had the Diamondback Explorer.
No, I had the tiny little one. No, I'm using the Diamondback Q&E rank up. The very first ship you get. The little one.
The Sidewinder.
Yeah, the Sidewinder. I jumped from Colonia in a Sidewinder. And all I did was jump. I didn't scan back then. I didn't know how to do the space radio, which Brad calls the space radio. I didn't know how to do that. Yeah, the Sidewinder, Old Virgin. I jumped with the Sidewinder all the way back to the center. Brad plotted the whole way for me with his ship doing, double time. And
Colonia Highway is a fun place.
Yeah, it was great. It was actually pretty great.
66 of Elite Dangerous.
And Brad was amazed at my stamina because I was jumping I was jumping. Tonight, you have not seen me do that very well. Yeah, so
how many times did you fly into the sun tonight?
Look, it's...
Just so curious.
I don't know. So much is... You know what? My hull is still at 97%, so it could be worse.
That's good. But yeah, it's been lower than that.
Yes, it has. Back in those days, oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm using a Diamondback Explorer now that I renamed Medusa last time we played because I did not have my ship named. I'm wondering if I should skip.
Bad luck.
Yeah, but I did okay. So thank you for finding me. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the space convo. So we were just saying that we were going to continue this next week. We have gotten into more intense discussions. I wouldn't mind getting intense about, what would you want to do? Do you want to go back into a harder topic, or?
I think we should finish the solar system. I mean, yeah, we can go back into, because yeah, we've been to, wormholes is a good example. That's crazy, that's.
Yeah, last episode was intense. War in space.
Well, that was war, but I was talking about wormholes there was
fantastic.
A lot of crazy sci-fi references and a lot of crazy mind-bending physics and
oh, it was great.
Theoretical science because
yeah,
it's a hot topic in science fiction, but it's not like we can just observe one. It's just theoretical.
Yeah, we've done some theoretical, some physics talk, some sci-fi speculation, some tie-ins, and we've also done some Anklo. Yes, he says. Oh no, yeah, Anklo. Would it be helium? What Anklo? What would be helium? The atmosphere of Neptune.
I feel like there is a lot of helium there.
Atmosphere, like 70% atmosphere, and then helium. Probably. I'll try to join, but it's late here, 3:30 a.m., so I may be asleep. Join what? Oh, like our next topic? Oh, I didn't know. Well, generally it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 10 o'clock. We're running a little over tonight. Right now, we're about to wrap up. I guess I'll have to get you on the 88 constellations in next time. Guess you have time to study up, Brad.
I ain't gonna cheat.
Yeah, well, yeah, next week. I would love to see you, Old Virgin. That's that's funny for me to say. Well, it's not funny. You know, it's a choice. It's okay. It's all right. Look forward to anybody coming back. Thanks for those that showed up tonight. That was fun. And I appreciate the smart people in the chat. And there's no stupid questions. Yeah?
Nope.
Yeah,
every question helps you learn.
Yeah.
So the stupidest question is one not asked.
Oh, see? That's why except I said Uranus wrong. So I gotta live with that. I've got 72 jumps to the Omega sector.
Educators around the world, stop saying Uranus.
Can we talk about planet defense next time, says Anklo. You know, that is timely with the news. Last week we talked about war in space, and then I know I saw the news today, oh boy, but about defense, which was timely. That was a week after we talked about war in space and how they are.
That news about just some dumb shit talking smack, and it's not really anything.
No, it's a real thing happening. No, it's real news happening right now in space news. But we're not going to talk about that. It's a touchy subject for Brad. He doesn't want to talk about that. But we did that last week. We're going to continue to talk about. I want to talk about what are we going to talk about next week? Then more about the
rest of the solar system.
Okay. I can't wait to talk about constellations. Like, I want to talk about constellations sometime, too. The stars, like you said, stars could include constellations. Right? But that's not next week? We're not doing that this week? Okay. Next Friday, a continuation of of the solar system, but let's make it more spicy. Like, are we going to talk more about moons and all that things and different things?
Like the stuff we didn't talk about today.
Yeah.
Solar system stuff. Yeah.
Even a black hole. Isn't there not a black hole in our solar system?
No.
Oh, can we pretend there is? Okay, got it.
Pretend science will be a different channel.
Aw, no, we pretend a little bit. Okay, so thanks guys again for being here. I don't have a closing statement.
It's pronounced Uranus. That's my closing statement.
It's pronounced Uranus. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys around. I'm probably going to be back on in a bit for racing. And you guys were wonderful. Thank you for stopping by. I don't know how to say
Thanks for chatting, everybody.
Yeah, and the link that's pinned at the top is the Let's Discuss Space podcast. So if you're new and you want to look back at some of the other topics, you could. Red Dog Racing. You know it, Red Dog. Tonight, 11 o'clock-ish, I'll be racing. Yeah, I'll come back for that record list. Thanks very much. Enjoyed the convo. Thank you, Old Virgin, for stopping by. And Brad is always a delight. And you guys are always great. Red Dog says, awesome stream, you two. Excellent job. There you go. We got it. Awesome. No, it's because you guys are smart as well. I mean, that's
a lot of good comments tonight.
See? I mean, Brad approves. Brad approves. I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much. And thank you. Just thank you so much. You guys make this fun. And the more questions or statements or whatever you guys have next time, the better it is, because then, Brad has something to respond.
Yeah. We just don't want it to be us yapping and having no, feedback or back and forth or questions and stuff. So, yeah.
That was a kind way of Brad saying that he doesn't just want to hear shit from me. I like that. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I mean, you have a comment section. It's not just us.
Yeah.
Like a radio show where we don't take calls, for example. It's like, hey, everyone just shut up and listen. It's not that.
Yeah, we're interactive. Yeah, so we enjoy you guys. Thanks so much. Okay, I'm gonna actually turn off the stream now. Oh, wait, no, wait. I gotta do this first. Wait, how do you turn on your space lights? I don't want to leave the lights on. They can just run into me
Hold
if they find
circle.
me. Hold circle?
Hold circle and press left on the D-pad.
Circle, ship lights. Okay. Bye, Anklo. Bye, everybody. Thank you again.
Bye, everybody.
I will be out in space. Drifting. No, I'm not drifting. I'm stopped, right?
You gotta pull over and put your parking brake on.
There's a parking brake?
No.
Oh, okay.
Everything moves in space.
Even this? Am I still moving even though I'm parked?
I mean, it says you're not moving, but the whole solar system you're in is moving through space.
So I'm always going to be moving.
Yep.
Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Take care.